That is nice. We are back. Boy, do they sound fine. That is my posse, Ed.
Yes, sir.
Did you know that? It's not called a band anymore. It's called a posse. Weird, wild stuff.
That it is, sir, yes.
A posse. I did not know that. Now, some of you at home might not understand some of this lingo, which earlier in the day our staff compiled from the streets. Now, when I said my guests were in my house, what I meant was in the studio.
Yes.
That is some weird, wild stuff. Now, according to this, your actual house is called a crib, but a baby crib is not necessarily called a house. I did not know that.
Not a house. Not a house, no, sir.
Not a house. It's a little weird, a little skewed.
Love y'all, boys. Love you. Love you. I go to war with every single one of you every game, all right? Love you, 1-7. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Win.
Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have me doubts, not what I'm about, have your fucking clout. It be raining now, I keep making sound, go another round, bitch I'm legend bound, can't stop me now. You don't wanna fuck with me, a slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you couldn't believe. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can.
It's showtime.
Welcome to Friday Night Lights. I'm your host, Tommy, to the highest degree to the TOP from the 313. And normally I would say, and by my side is my main man, my Toucan Sam, the one they call the Apex Man. But Mr. Mikey is not here on Friday. So he will return, I'm guessing, during the draft. And then he'll be missing in action again. And then he'll be back when preseason football starts back up. So he doesn't love me anymore, man. He's sick and tired of Tommy. But what's going on, Bills Mafia, man? A lot of moves being made towards the end of the week, and we'll get right into that. Let's get with some of the chat real quick. Go Bills. What's up, Preston? How you doing, brother? Badass wants everybody to know that Pagula still sucks as an owner. Sylvester, DJ Moore is better upgrade than we had previously, but I wish we got a taller receiver that could bully the top corners and catch those 50-50 balls. I think we have enough short wide receivers on the roster, but he's not short. I believe DJ Moore is 6 foot. Is that correct? I could be wrong on that. Let me check, but I believe he's 6 foot. DJ Moore, yeah, he's 6 foot. So I was right on that. So he's not considered like a small receiver, but I understand what you're trying to say. Which, by the way, they could get that in the draft. Boston, I believe, is 6'4". There's also the guy from Tennessee. I always forget his name. Brazil. I believe he's 6'5". So there's still options. And this is what I want to tell Bills Mafia. It's not over. Like, Bills Mafia is so quick to rush to this is it. That's all we're going to get. DJ Moore. Oh, this is so disappointing. Guys, like, free agency starts next week. Let's calm down. Let's pump the brakes here. That is a good trade. It's a fair trade. It's funny to me because Bills Mafia is sitting there last year during the trade deadline, and I was one of them, mad that Bean didn't give up a first for Jalen Waddle. Right? A first and I think another pick, right? They wanted a first and what, like a fifth or something like that. We gave up a second for DJ Moore, who's had better stats since 2023, right? He's had more yards and he's had less to work with. Let's be real, right? I'm just being honest with you. Like, Justin Fields, a young Caleb Williams, like, guys, We gave up a second. It's not, and it's also what his contract, what we're paying him, we're going to wind up paying DJ Moore, is what he would probably get out there in the market. That's what he would probably get elsewhere. Like, so I don't understand why all of a sudden this is such a bad trade. But yet, no problem with if we got Waddle. That, like, Bills Mafia would have been all right with that. So I'm so confused on Bills Mafia getting so upset with the trade here. Let me get some background music on real quick. Give me 1 second, guys. I like to have a little bit of, there we go, a little bit of something in my ear. But I don't understand it. Like, my good friends over at Post Podium Podcast, they don't read my chats anymore. I think they're tired of me defending Brandon Beane all the time, and that's all right. Look, I still love you guys. I love you, Aramis, and my big dog Keys. But I think they're tired of Tommy defending Brandon Beane all the time. But I feel like at this point, I'm like his lawyer. Like, I got to go out there and defend Brandon Beane every goddamn podcast. I just don't understand it. Like, look, man, I understand that he's not been perfect, but he's also not been bad, right? I believe he won 2-time Executive of the Year, right? Like, he's graded as one of the better GMs in the NFL. Look it up, right? He's a top 5 GM. No matter what you guys say, look it up. Has he been perfect? No. Has he made mistakes? Yes. But to criticize every single fucking thing this guy does is crazy to me. It's wild. The guy can't do anything right. And I have to defend him. And I would defend, just like I defend Josh Allen at times, right? And I still will give my honest opinion on when Josh Allen makes a mistake, just like when Brandon Beane makes a mistake, or things that I don't like that Brandon Beane has done in the past that I'm hoping he corrects. We wanted a more aggressive Brandon Beane this year, right? This coming offseason, right? The offseason we're in now. He goes and makes a trade, brings a receiver in that is a good receiver. He's a 1, no matter how you see it. He may not be elite. He's not the A.J. Brown. He's not a Justin Jefferson. But he's a damn good receiver. And if we had him on our roster last year, nobody's sitting here complaining. Nobody. Not certainly Josh Allen. Josh Allen would have had a guy that's reliable. By the way, durable. He's only missed 2 games since 2019. 2. We're sitting here complaining about our first trade that we did. Getting a receiver that we all wanted here. But it's not good enough. It's wild. Let me get to the chat, man. I'm sorry. And I'm going to continue on this because, once again, I feel like I have to come and defend him, right? Because if I don't do it, I feel like no one else is. It seems like this is the new wave of podcasts now. Like, just to be, not even podcasts, Bills Mafia. It's like hate. Everything we do is so bad. Everything is bad. Nothing is right in Buffalo. It's all shit. All garbage. Right? They've done nothing right. Right? I can't believe we even made the playoffs. 8 out of the last 9 years. Unreal. How do we do that? With our shitty GM. Wow. Oh, boy. What up, Tommy? What up, Sandra? How you doing? Hey, Edward, how you doing? Appreciate you rocking with me tonight. Weston, Bean Island, baby. Yeah, and I'll say it. I'm still on. Listen, I ain't going anywhere, man. It's just the beginning. Believe in Bean Island, right? We believe in Bean Island. Right? Hashtag BB. Believe in Bean Island, right? Make Bills great again. FBGA, right? That's what we're trying to do, right? McDermott is gone. He has left the ship, right? Now Bean has control. Now let's see what he can do with his vision and Joe Brady's vision instead of judging from the very beginning. Oh, everything they do is going to be bad. It's going to be trash. And it's like no one's even giving him an opportunity. And when we make the first move, oh, it's bad. bad, terrible, awful. What? Look, I love Post Podium. I heard what they were saying about, I think Keys was bringing it up today about DJ Moore is going to want to, demand the ball as a one, and that's not good here. So anyone we would have brung in would have demanded the ball. What are we talking? So don't go. So see what I'm saying? So then fine. Don't get a receiver. And then we complain that we didn't get a receiver? What? What are we doing here? It's a no-win situation. I feel like. I really do. So what was he supposed to do then? It would just get... Because, you see, if you went and got free agents, right, and just brought in a bunch of, bargain bin receivers again, everyone would have been like, oh, here we go again. Brandon Beane not being aggressive, being cheap. Oh, my God. Right? But he goes out and gets a receiver, right? A second-round pick. By the way, we got a fifth-round pick back as well. But it's not good enough. He's going to want the ball. He's going to demand that. He's going to, want to be treated as a one. Oh, my God, can't have that. What are we doing here? It just doesn't make sense. That's what I mean about, I really feel like there's certain fans, podcasters, that once they stick to an opinion, once they feel like, I hate this guy, I hate everything he does, I hate everything he stands for, I don't give a fuck what this guy does, it's shit, fuck him, then they're never going to be happy. No matter what this guy does, it's never going to be enough. Never going to be enough. So, I'm at the point where I'm gonna give up defending him on other podcasts and just go on my platform and defend him here, because at least you guys are going to listen, regardless if you guys agree or not. It's still my platform, and I feel like sometimes, when I go on, when I try to comment or go somewhere else, I'm the big dummy, right? I'm the idiot, right? Everybody, Tommy loves me. Tommy's a homer. Listen, if anyone knows me, I'm the furthest thing from a homer. But I also like to stand back, and I like to look at the big picture, and I like to look at the other side of the coin. I don't just go, look at all the bad, right? Look at all the bad. Let's ignore everything else that he's done. Let's just concentrate on all the bad. Well, okay. Well, then, you know what? Then I don't know what to say. I'm not going to do that. That's not what I do here. Sammy, what up? What up, man? From New Jersey. All right. Okay. Hey, Jersey, baby. Tommy, you think we should have released Taron Johnson? I think he was one of the best nickels in the league, but it does help us in cap. Yeah, I think because of the defensive scheme, I don't think there was a place for him here. And, I saw they mentioned him too as far as restructuring, and we're going to owe Taron down the line because we restructured his deal, but that was before we knew, obviously, we were firing McDermott and going into a totally different direction on defense. And now that we have, it's unfortunate, but he doesn't fit the scheme. I think Taron's a hell of a player. Now, last year, yeah, he kind of underperformed, but 1 year out of all the rest that he performed at a high level, all of a sudden now that was a bad restructure. No, you restructure guys that you feel like are going to be here long term. Taron at the time, when they restructured his contract, they felt like Taron is still young. He's going to be here for a while. And that's a common thing, guys. That's another thing I don't understand with people complaining about restructuring. It happens across the NFL. You have to restructure contracts in order to pay for free agency, your new draft picks. It's just the way it works. You got some big contracts out there. Big contracts. There is no other way. You have to push them down the road. Every fucking team does it. So I don't understand why That's another thing Brandon Beane's getting criticized for. Oh, they're pushing these contracts down. Oh, I can't believe it. Every team does it. Every fucking team does it. Stop looking for things to criticize this guy for. It's just nitpicking at this point. We can't complain about trading for DJ Moore if we want to Waddle. Exactly. Like, I don't. Thank you, Sylvester. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't understand it. I truly don't understand Bills Mafia. What did you expect? What do you want? We want A.J. Brown. We want Justin Jefferson. Guys, the chances of Justin Jefferson getting traded are fucking slim to none. I'm just telling you the God honest truth. And A.J. Brown, let's be real here. Yeah, maybe we could have got him. But how long would he even have been here without a problem arising? Let's be real. You thought Stephon Diggs was, a diva. This guy, he's above him. Like, who knows how that would have worked out. So he's a hell of a receiver. And I'm not even saying I would have complained if we made that deal. But DJ Moore is still young. He's 29, right? He's put up some good numbers in his career. There's nothing wrong with that trade. A second round pick, and we're getting a fifth. But it's not good enough. No, it's shit. It's dog shit. And of course, the rumor, people out there, oh, the Bears would have released him. We don't know that. You don't know that. Right? Stop with that. It's crazy to me, man. Brandon Beane can't do nothing right. DJ Moore finally has a quarterback to throw to him, so I'm so excited. But we ain't done with getting wide receiver, but we do need to talk. Yeah, and that can happen through the draft. Okay, there's a couple guys that are like 6'4", 6'5". You got Boston, who's 6'4". You got the guy from Tennessee, Brazil, who's 6'5". Both those guys I like. You can get those guys without even trading up. They're probably going to more than likely fall to you. What do we pick, a 26 or 28th in the draft? I think 26. So, yeah, and then there's still free agency to go. Now, Brandon Beane still has a lot of work to do. Okay, we're still not under the cap, right? But I believe in Brandon Beane. He understands how the money works. Don't get concerned about that, right? That's the other thing. It's like Bills Mafia wants to act like we know better than the guy that's working the numbers, that actually is working with these agents, is working with these players, that understands these contracts way better than us, okay? Who's done this job for many, many years, right? Let the guy do his job. He's shown that he can get money, right? So don't worry about the salary cap. We're so concerned that he can't get it done. When has he not? Right, guys? I mean, it's like, once again, it's unbelievable. The reason people are mad is because it was reported as a mid-round pick. Yeah, but you don't go by. I get that too, and I saw that initially, and I actually told Mikey, "Oh shit, we got him for a third, maybe a fourth," and that would have been great. Of course, that would have been great. But it turned out to be a second, but we still got it back a fifth. I still don't think it's a bad trade. Then it was real as a second. Everybody got mad and said it was overpaid. Yeah, one round. Oh, stop. Nitpicking, man. I'm telling you. Anybody then McDermott. Hey, Cali Bills, man. How you been, man? Long time. No talk, man. I hope everything's good in California. Miss you, buddy, man. I know you tend to be on here more during preseason and obviously regular season, but it's good to see you, brother, man. DJ Moore would have caught that Brandon Cooks throw. Absolutely. Sammy, facts, Tommy. It's almost a third round pick. It's a late second round. Like, what are we talking about here? Would have to give it a lot more for AJ Brown, etc. Yeah, exactly. Right. AJ Brown would have been more of a diva than DJ Moore. So I don't know what people say DJ Moore is going to want command of the ball. Yeah, I don't get that either. And once again, every top receiver, I believe, would demand the ball. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, we got to stop with that, right? DJ Moore has history with our head coach and Joe Brady. right? Who was his coordinator. If anyone knows DJ Moore the best, it's Joe Brady, right? I'm sure. And once again, I said this to Mikey last week, right? Brandon Beane is not going to make any deal without having his coaching staff involved. He's not going to go rogue and just start trading players that he likes, only that he likes, and signing free agents that only he likes, and cutting players because he's just going rogue all of a sudden. It's not what he's doing, right? I'm sure he's getting with coaching, right, with his other GMs, right? Going, hey, what do you guys feel about this? Do you guys think this would work out? You think DJ Moore working the system, Brady? Right? Brady's getting with the staff. Yeah, I do. I think we could do this, and this with him, right? Same with Leonard, right? When we cut Taron, I'm sure he went to him like, Taron's a hell of a player. Can he fit in the system? I don't know. I don't see a place for him here. I think we could pick that up during the draft. Whatever he said. But once again, I don't think Beane's just going rogue. So just like he did with McDermott, right? McDermott wanted certain players, right? McDermott was heavily involved. We all know that. And McDermott probably was way more involved than what we probably know, right? I don't think Brady's, doing that, but he's definitely has a relationship with Beane where it's like, hey, this is what I'm looking for. Yeah, I like that guy. Let's go. If we can get him, let's get him. Boy, J-Ham, you Buffalo Fanatics and Bills Roundtable. I'm sorry, man. I gotta settle down, Tommy. Settle down. Calm down. You, Buffalo Fanatics and Bills Roundtable are the only ones not negative about the trade. Thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, shout out to those podcasts as well. And yeah, there's nothing to be negative about this trade. I don't get it. We sat here last year. Matter of fact, we sat here for the last 2 years, right? Including myself, going, Jesus, what are we doing here? We need a receiver. We need a go-to guy. We need a guy where when it's third and long, or when we need an important play to be made, Josh Allen has a guy he can go to, a guy that he could trust in, right? He has that guy that we know can make that play, right? We didn't have that over the last 2 years. I like Khalil Shakir, right? I do. He's reliable, but he's not a go-to guy, right? We needed that number one here, and it took 2 years for them to finally figure it out. And when we finally go ahead and get a guy here that's reliable, that's proven to be reliable, now it's a problem. Oh, I can't believe it. What are we doing? Look, even if we trade, let's say got Justin Jefferson, I promise you there will be people going, oh, terrible trade. Justin Jefferson's going to demand the ball, and no one's going to get the ball now, and he's going to be a diva. And look how much money we're going to have to pay. Nothing. I'm at the point, guys, where nothing that Beane's going to do moving forward is going to be good enough, right? It's just never going to be good enough. It is what it is. And you know what? I kind of got that way with McDermott towards the end, right? And maybe that's how people feel about Beane, but I don't feel like Beane's done a bad job as a GM through his time, as he's been here, long as he's been here. I really don't. Now McDermott on the other hand, it's different, right? My problem with McDermott was coaching, right? Pure coaching and mistakes that he made in the playoffs. Like the teams that we had here, guys, through the years, right? Say what you want about them, right? We can sit here, we can nitpick and be like, oh, Brandon Beane didn't get this guy. Brandon Beane didn't get a true edge rusher. We didn't do this. We didn't do that. But we had multiple opportunities to get to a Super Bowl. Multiple, right? And the losses, for the most part, were coaching blunders and defensive letdowns. Let's be real when it comes to that. And that was never going to change as long as McDermott was here. And that was a big reason why I just wanted McDermott gone at that point because he was stubborn. He wasn't going to change the scheme. And the players that were coming here were McDermott guys were not performing when the lights were on, right, in the playoffs. And I'm talking about on the defensive side of things. Our offense has never really truly been a major problem. Like, we're sitting here today talking about DJ Moore, right? And in this offense. Well, guys, I'm not saying the offense was great last year. Froze for a second. Whoa. I don't know what is going on. And guys, I hope I'm still alive. But the offense wasn't truly a major problem last year. What were we missing? We were missing that go-to guy, right? We were missing the DJ Moore, right? Just let's be real, right? We had DJ Moore last year. Who knows what happens, right? We probably make a couple plays more in certain games and probably have a couple more wins during the regular season because of that, right? Maybe the playoffs go differently. But overall, the offense wasn't really the main issue. It was always the defense. The defense gave up 33 points against Denver. Like, it should have never happened. We still put up 30. For us, not as smooth running as an offense as we all wanted it to be, it still was good enough to put up 30 points. And it was good enough every year, really, to get us to a Super Bowl. Let's be real. The offense was never truly the problem. It's always been the other side of the ball. And I think we're going to address that this offseason. I do. I think Brandon Beane's going to be aggressive. But the first move he made was to get a receiver here because that was the main, really the main issue with the offense was we didn't have that go-to guy for Josh Allen. Now he got it. And by the way, it's not done yet. We don't know what other free agents he's going to bring in here. We don't know if he's going to draft a wide receiver early. We don't know yet. It's way too early. We don't even know what other trades may happen. So let's back up, right? Pump the brakes a little bit. I am not a McDermott. I am not a McDermott homer. But you know what? You know, when I look at everybody's, when I tell you, when I stand back and I'm honest about, and I try, or at least I try my best to look at the other, both sides of the coin, right? McDermott wasn't a terrible coach. McDermott was a good coach. Like, I'll give him his dues, and I've said this multiple times. But he hit a wall. And I think certain coaches in every sport, baseball and basketball and football, certain coaches just, for some reason, they hit a wall and they just aren't championship type coaches. They're really good coaches, but for whatever reason it is, they can't get the job done, right? And McDermott falls into that category. But he's a good coach. He did good things here. But it was time to move on. Matter of fact, it was time to move on years ago, right? Pagula actually did him a favor by keeping him for 9 seasons. Should have been fired after the 13-second game, right? Go get him spinning. We can't complain about, let's see here. Hold on real quick. We do got oh man, big time super chat coming in from Cali Blitz. I got you, big dog. Been busy lately. Nah, man. Hey, I appreciate you. Let me hit that train horn. Let me hit. Yeah! Hello, in the house. My food.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Hey, I appreciate you, Cali Bills, man. No, I understand, man. No worries, man. I just know normally you start getting deep into the podcast when things start picking back up again, man. So you've been on here, you've actually followed me. You're one of my earlier subscribers, so appreciate you, bro. I got much love for you, man. Let's see here. Let me get this background stuff back rolling again. Everyone shout out Cali Bills, by the way, man. Sending that big time super chat, man. Appreciate you, bro. All right, let's get back to the chat here. It does make me wonder. They didn't want to give up first twice. If they wanted Brown, as we think it means they have them first-round picks locked in place. Yeah, absolutely. Look, I still think another trade is possible, and it could be for an edge, or it could be a big free agent signing. He's not done. Like, there's still restructures to do. He hasn't even restructured Josh Allen's contract yet, which is that's the one where I believe it's like $12 million, something like that. I gotta look that up. If anyone in the chat knows the exact number, let me know. But that clears up a lot of cap. There could be other guys that get waived or get cut. There could be early extensions. They could sign Osiris Torrance early, save a little money there. They could still cut Tyler Bass, though I don't think that's going to happen for some reason. Restructure. They're going to probably restructure Deion Dawkins' deal again, which is I'm fine with. And I'm sure they're going to restructure some other deals. There's also Dawson Knox, which I think that one is going to be a tough one for Bean. And I think that's why it's taking a little bit, because I think Knox wants to be here. But the reality is, and I think he understands this, is the contracts, you know, it's a little bit too high for what he's giving, right? Right? What he's producing on the field, right? So I think either he takes a massive pay cut, or maybe they just do something where they release him and they re-sign him to like a 2-year deal or something like that. I don't know how, you know, the details. That's not my job. But I believe if I had to guess, they're trying to work something out with Knox, because Knox is super close to Allen. He is a good teammate. I think he's a well-rounded tight end. He's not great, but he's good at blocking. He does come up with good catches. He's just not used a lot offensively, right, to pay what we're paying him. And matter of fact, we've already paid. I think he already took a pay cut, I believe, last year or the year before. So we'll see what happens with Knox, but that one there would save us some money. But it seems like Bean's trying to get all this done over the weekend, which he has to, because Monday is where you can start talking to agents and start kind of getting deals done. What they call it, legal tampering. And then I believe Wednesday is when free agency technically begins, but you're going to start hearing deals get done Monday, at least the bigger deals, right? Very interested to see if like a Mike Evans, if we can get Mike Evans here on a good contract, a nice contract, right? You never know, right? Some of these players may just want to come and play with Josh Allen and may take a little bit less. And that's not unheard of. We've had players that actually came here and said in the past that they could have gotten more. It took a little bit less to come play in Buffalo. So we'll see. Tommy, is what you did to Mikey push him down the road? Robert. Yeah, I pushed Mikey down the road. No, he pushed away from us. Right? Mikey's just I love him, but I think he's tapped out with 2 nights a week. Last year, not even last year, since we started this, he did it for like 2 weeks, and then we went back 2 nights a week. But he got a new job, and they're killing him with the hours. So I totally understand. Family, money comes first, so I get it. You know what I mean? But he'll be back once things start kicking back up. Now let's focus on the D-line, and they will. Mr. Chewy. Tommy, love the DJ Moore trade, and he wants to come here. Do you think this means defense with our first pick? It may, but we don't have a second round now, but that doesn't mean we can't climb back in to the second round, right? Like, Bean may be super aggressive in free agency and the draft. So it wouldn't shock me if this time around he trades up, right? Maybe get that second round pick back. It's a possibility, but look, we need more defense and offense right now, right? We really do. I'm glad he got I'm glad he got the receiver out of the way, but I still feel like there's still another receiver coming, whether that be through free agency or the draft. I don't think it stops with Moore. But yeah, there's quite a bit we need to focus on defense. Right? Linebacker, safety, edge, defensive line, defensive tackle position, right? Like there's pieces that we need to. There's holes we need to fill, right? But I trust in them, and I trust they will get the job done. But it's early, right? Free agency starts next week, and we're already tripping on, how bad the offseason's been. Like, the offseason hasn't really started yet, right? Like, technically. I like the idea of Boston, a kid out of Washington. Yeah, 6'4", good route runner, good hands. I like him as well. I think he runs a 4.4. Yeah, good receiver. And I think he could fall to us as well at that 26 spot, I believe. Is that what we're picking, guys? 26? Let me see. I believe it is 26. Let's see here. Buffalo Bills draft picks 2026. Yeah, 26. Okay. So we have 26. We traded away, obviously, round 2. And then we got round 3 as well. Let me see here. So let me see here. Updated draft picks. Let me go to this. I believe we got a third, don't we? Or do we get rid of that? I don't think we got rid of that third. Let me see here. Of course, good old pop-ups. Okay, so we got a round 1, pick 26, round 3, round 4. We got 2 round 5s now, one from Chicago, and we got 2 round 7s picks. So I do believe we get back up in the second round. I could be wrong on that, but I do believe he'll be aggressive in the draft as well. Tommy, Bills Mafia should be more humble and grateful because if we had Sean, we wouldn't have a great coach staff or receiver like DJ Moore. We still have the same roster for 2 years. Yeah, absolutely. And you're seeing this change already, right? McDermott leaves or gets fired. And now you're starting to see, or you're going to see really kind of a new look, a new philosophy, a new vision of what type of players they want here in Buffalo. We're going to find that out real soon, right? But I do believe it's going to be way different than we've seen in years past, right? This is especially on the defensive side of things, right? This is a totally different approach, different scheme. And that's why you saw Taron get let go, because he just doesn't fit what Leonard's going to do here, right? And Taron's a hell of a player. Taron's going to get picked up right away. Someone's going to sign him right away. Like, he's a good player. Don't get that twisted. He had a rough year, but that doesn't make him a bad player. He was consistently good here in Buffalo for the most part. Tommy, if the Bills would have had DJ Moore, they would have won last 3 years. I mean, possible. It's possible. I'll tell you what. If we had DJ Moore last year, I forget who said it in the comment section. He probably comes down with that catch that Cooks didn't come down with, right? He's a better sure-handed catcher than Brandon Cooks, right? It's more reliable. His route tree is also much better than Cooks, right? How's Tommy tonight? PPP wants Diggs back. Do they? I mean, look, would I be against Stephon Diggs coming back? No, of course not. Depends on the money, right? If he's trying to come back on a cheapy, 2-year, 1-year deal, whatever, I'd welcome him back. He still has juice in the tank, right? But there's one thing I've learned here, being a Buffalo Bills fan, that I've learned. For the most part, when players leave here, and they leave on not the greatest terms, right? Or things got shaky here for a bit, most of the time they don't come back, right? They just don't. So I think his time here is over. Like, I don't see a reunion for Stephon Diggs. Would I welcome it? Sure, if it was a cheap deal. I would have no problem with it because I still think the guy has talent. right? I think he's towards the end, like, of his prime, like, you know what I mean? But I still feel like there's enough there where if it was a cheap deal, I wouldn't be upset about it. I still think he could provide something. But I just don't think he would. I don't think personally he would want to come back. And I don't know if the Bills would honestly want him back, to be honest with you. I just, things didn't end so great. I don't know the relationship with Bean and Diggs, though. I know McDermott and Diggs, that relationship was done with. Just like Coleman and McDermott. Like, that relationship would not have worked moving forward. It just wasn't going to happen, right? We'll see what happens with Coleman and Brady now. And Coleman's partially responsible, just like Diggs was, right? But McDermott tend to keep guys in his doghouse, and Diggs wasn't going to back down from McDermott. So you kind of saw the clash, and yeah, it just wasn't going to work. But I don't know Bean's relationship with Diggs, right? So, but I just don't see it happening. For me, like, you know, I would love, like, if they can get, like, a guy like Evans on, like, you know, if Evans were, you know, who's also a guy that's kind of towards the end of his prime, would want to, you know, would sacrifice a little bit of his pay to come play in Buffalo, right? You know what I mean? On a 2-year deal or something like that. I would welcome that more than Diggs. But yeah. What is Bills Mafia being so picky? Like Bills Mafia would rather chase Keon Coleman being a number one than getting DJ. Well, I don't get it. Like, I don't understand. Tommy, what's your thoughts on picking big citrus in the draft? Big citrus? I don't know who that is. Let me know. Tell me the name. I'll be honest with you. I haven't done my homework as best as I should on the draft. I've focused it. I focused on the receivers a little bit. But I'd be sitting here lying to you if I told you that I've done my homework on, you know, linebackers or edge. I need to do that. I need to dive into that. It's just, you know, work and everything else is, and then, you know, obviously I'm focusing on free agency right now, but once free agency ends, where, you know, which, you know, probably in a week, right? Week or two, we'll kind of, all the big names will be gone. And then obviously April's the draft. I'll be able to focus my time more on, you know, the draft picks. And what I like to do, I don't know what you guys do, but for me is the way I do my research is I go by position that we need the most, right? That's probably going to be positions that they're looking to get more in the draft than free agency. And obviously free agency is also going to tell me more where I should focus towards, because we could pick up another receiver in the free agency, and then that kind of may halt what we do in the draft. Because if they pick up, let's say they do wind up picking up another receiver in free agency, well, unless they dump another receiver, you know, the receiving room's kind of full at that point, right? I don't know if they draft a receiver at that point, right? If they don't sign a receiver in free agency or trade again, which I doubt they'll trade for a receiver again, but if they don't get another one, then yeah, there's definitely going to be, in my opinion, another receiver. There's going to be a receiver drafted. But yeah, how I do is I go by position, you know, and then I kind of know where we're going to be at, you know, or at least where I'm guessing, and then kind of, you know, be a realistically look at players that are going to probably be at that selection, right? You know, without trading up or trading back, right? So that's how I do it. And then I kind of just narrow it down to like 5 players. Look at the film, look at their pros and cons, right? Their strengths and weaknesses. And then I go by it. That's how I go by it. So everybody does it differently, but that's how I do it. There's no point of me going through you know, the quarterbacks, right? Or a top 10 top 15 player, let's say. Like, I don't think Bean's going to be super aggressive and try to trade up in the top 10, right? Like, I would be shocked. Like, if he does that, that would be a fucking ballsy move, right? And I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't hate it at all. And it's funny because Bills Mafia, once again, it's just like we're mad at him for not being aggressive, but when he's aggressive, then Bills Mafia's like, oh, I can't believe you gave up that much to move up. So it's like, look, I'd rather a GM be aggressive, take swings, than not swing at all, right? I want an aggressive GM, and that's one thing Brandon Beane has really not been. He's really not been that aggressive, right? And that's one kind of knock that I've had on him. It's kind of been a little like there's been times where he's swung, right? He did it on the Diggs trade. He did it for Von Miller. But outside of that, he's been here 8 years. I mean, that's twice. That's not a lot, guys. That's not being super aggressive. We're talking about 2 times that he's like swung, right? Like I need him to be a little bit more aggressive, with this team, right? I do. The time is now. Like you can't be messing around. And I hope he gets that. Like I really do. Tommy, honestly, if our defense can hold up in the playoffs and the DJ Moore pickup is going to make people open their eyes, realize it's a good trade. Absolutely. Absolutely. Sandra, a little choppy, but you're still live. Oh no. Am I choppy, guys? I'm behind on the chat. Let me know. I shouldn't be. I got fast internet and I have my Ethernet plugged in. Do me a favor, guys. Let me know in the chat when you can, because I am behind in the chat. If I am choppy or anything like that, I'll have to probably leave and come back into the StreamYard. Let me know. Cali Bills, Sammy giving you that fire. Now the only game I can't blame on the defense is on the Broncos game. Josh had 4 turnovers, and I just had that game as Josh's second bad playoff game. Okay, so in a way I agree and disagree with the comment. Okay. So here's the deal. Did Josh have his best game? Clearly not. Right. Way too many turnovers. Now, one of them, granted, he partially his fault, but going for being aggressive at the end of the first half with no timeouts, and I think there was 14 seconds, something crazy. We weren't going to do anything there. Our offense was barely moving at that point. And our offense was really not a type of offense that could get down the field quickly like the Rams could, right? That's not how our offense was built. So I don't understand why McDermott felt the need to be aggressive there when no timeouts. And I think we had the ball at our own 30. It just made no sense to me. And then, of course, Josh Allen being clumsy, careless with the ball, fumbles, they get 3 points out of it. But that play probably should have never happened, right? We should have just went into the locker room at that point. All right, so I don't totally put that on Josh. Now, the other turnovers, yeah, he made some bad throw. He a little careless with the ball. But let's talk about James Cook. He's never brought up in that game, right? We're driving. We're getting down. We're getting closer to red zone, right? And he fumbles, right? I mean, momentum swing. They get a touchdown right after that. So, and also, for as poorly as we played, right, on offense, for all the turnovers, all that stuff, we still put up 30 points. The defense gave up 33 points. I get what you're saying, but we had the lead. We had a 4-point lead with about 3 minutes left, and the defense could not hold them. They gave up a touchdown. So I'm not going to sit here and say the defense did their job in that game. 33 points is unacceptable. I'm sorry. You're not going to win a lot of games like that unless you have a unbelievable offense that is just playing out of their mind that's going to put up 40 points. And you win 40-33. Right? I mean, look at the Super Bowl. The defense stepped up. It wasn't like Seattle's offense was tearing it up. right? Look at the New England-Denver game. I get Bo Nix wasn't playing, but still, New England's defense is way better than ours. Even if Bo Nix plays, I don't think they score much more. Maybe a touchdown. Let's say they score they get another touchdown. Maybe. Like I don't think Bo Nix was that great. So look, I think that was a team loss, but I don't think the defense played much of a part in that game. They played better in the second half, but still gave up 33 points. I'm not going to sit here and throw a parade for the defense that gives up 33 points. I'm just not going to do it. Extend or restructure. Look, not extend. They're going to have to either get a pay cut. It ain't going to be a restructure. It's going to either be a pay cut for Knox or they're going to cut him. That's it. I don't think there's any other choice, to be honest with you. They have to make up their mind. And I think Kincaid, they may give him the 5th year on his contract, on his rookie deal. So we'll see what happens with Kincaid, but I'm only going to worry about certain guys right now. And I think Knox, he could be a player that gets cut, but I think they're having a tough time. I think Bean's having a tough time with that because I do believe they have a good relationship. He's obviously a great relationship with Josh, and I think Dawson wants to be here. I think he's willing to take a pay cut again to stay here. So we'll see what they do there. Very interested what they do when Knox. Kincaid cannot stay healthy. That's the problem with Kincaid. Kincaid's a good player. Like, let's be real here. When healthy, Kincaid's a good player. Like, he makes plays. Problem is, can't stay healthy. He's not reliable, right? Like, he's always hurt. It seems like he's always hurt. And you can't keep a guy around like that. He's just not reliable enough. And it's fucked up. It's sad. But that's how sometimes the NFL works with certain players, right? They got all the talent in the world, but they can't stay healthy. And if you can't stay healthy in the NFL, then you're kind of worthless, no matter what type of talent you have, right? I mean, Sammy Watkins, let's be real. Sammy Watkins was a really good receiver. Really good. But he couldn't stay on the field. So what good is it? Right? That'd be like having, a Ferrari sitting in your parking lot, but the engine doesn't run, right? Or it turns on here and there. You can take it down the street and then overheats and you got to get a tow truck and tow it back. But it's shiny. It's nice. It looks clean, right? At times, maybe it runs, right? Right? At times, but most of the time it's just sitting in your garage. Right? Like, what are you going to do with that? It does nothing for you. Would be nice to try a network something out. Okay. To work something out with Knox. Yeah, I agree. I'm trying to get with all your chats here, by the way. So sorry if I'm delayed. Usually Mikey's here to help me with that, but Evans won't leave Tampa to come play in the cold for an extra $1 or so. He'll make that up in the taxes. He'll stay playing for, which is it's a possibility. I'm just throwing a name out there. I'm not saying he's going to come here. I'm not saying, that just because it's Josh Allen, he'll be willing to take a pay cut. or take less. What I'm saying is there's been players that came to Buffalo that they said they could have gotten more, but they wanted to play in Buffalo, so they took the contract that was offered, right? They took a little bit less just to be play with Josh Allen or with Buffalo, right? So, and I'm not saying Evan's going to be that, but you never know. I agree with you, right? He's played in Florida, right? Tampa throughout his career. And it would be a big difference in scenery, right? Environment going from Florida to Buffalo, New York, right? But there's also pros, right? And I'm sure they look at that. Like, trust me when I tell you, just like when you go or anyone goes for a job or you're job searching, your pros and cons, right? Maybe this job pays a little bit more, than the other job, but that other job, maybe it's better hours, pays a little bit less, but man, it's closer to the house, or it's it's less. I don't have to work weekends, right? Like there's always pros and cons. So I'm sure these receivers or just players in general are obviously, looking at the pros and cons of any team they go to. Money, where they're living, right? Do they want to live in, take their family, move their family all the way, far up north? Like all that I'm sure comes to mind, right? So I have no idea what Evans is thinking, right? Maybe Evans is looking at the pro. For me, right, if I'm a player, let's say Evans, right? I'm going, okay, Josh Allen, that's a pro. That's an A+ pro, right? Like that's true. Buffalo Bills, they're a playoff team, right? Come on, we're a playoff team, right? That's pro number 2, right? That's you're not going to a shitty organization. You're going to a team that's going to be in the playoffs, right? Number 3, brand new stadium, right? Crowd's going to be lit. Like that's awesome, right? You get to experience that. That's just a cool thing, right? And then you got the cons, right? The weather, not a lot of things to do in Buffalo, as they say. You got to get up and move from Florida all the way to Buffalo, New York. Maybe the money's a little bit less, state tax. So I get it. You know what I mean? I understand that. But every player is different. Everybody thinks differently. That may not be a problem for him. And it may be. So we'll find out. You know what I mean? We'll find out real soon what Evans winds up doing. But he's just one of many free agents out there. If we don't get him, that's fine. You know what I mean? I have no problem with that. I look for Bean to trade out of the first round, says Robert. Okay. I don't know. Like, I honestly, I almost feel like he's going to be aggressive this draft. He's done more trading back than he's done trading up, in my opinion, since he's been GM. I also think it depends on who is falling, right? So there was a certain player that he had maybe not even on his list, but he really liked, is dropping, and for some reason, which it happens all the time. It's possible he could get aggressive and go, man, if we can get that guy, he's falling, he may fall here. Maybe I make that call, see if they're willing to let us, trade up to get this guy, right? Like, listen, it's very well possible that could happen. So let's not. I get what you're saying, which is a possibility as well, but we'll see. We'll see. I just think he's going to be a little bit aggressive in this draft. I do. I think it's time, right? I guarantee once free agency actually start, there's going to be a deal that's going to make Bean look like a genius. Yeah, I mean, I listen, I don't even hate this deal. I don't think it makes him look like a genius, the DJ Moore trade, but I think it's a fair trade for both sides. I really don't. I don't get why. I don't even get why there's an argument here about, if it's good or bad. It's a good trade for both teams. I don't think the Bears walked away hating the trade, and I don't think the Bills walked away hating the trade. Like, I don't think it's a mistake. I think it's a good move. I think we trade back in the first, pick up more picks, spin. Very possible. Listen, it's possible. I'm not saying it's impossible. We've done it multiple times, right? We've traded back in drafts. So could that happen? Sure. I just feel like, for me, and I do this every offseason, the free agency is going to tell us everything we need to know, right? What players we sign here, if there's any more trades, and then we can kind of narrow it down to the rest of our position needs and go, okay, more than likely it looks like, they traded for an edge. Let's say we traded for edge, or let's say somehow, some way, they got the money to get like Henderson or something. Okay, so that kind of takes that off the board, right? Like, now we kind of know like edge is probably not going to be taken early on, right? All right, so where we at now? Safety? Do they really like a safety that's sitting there? at first round that's falling, or they don't feel like he's going to get to the second, maybe they stay put. Like, I got to wait till free agency simmers down before I kind of can give you my like real opinion on if he's going to stay, trade up, or trade back, right? Like right now, it's just too early for all that. Love the Moore acquisition and bummed about Taron, but those things happen and nothing is forever. Yeah, Vader and Taron, like I said, Taron is a hell of a player, man. He was awesome while he was here. He had a little off year last season, but outside of that, he was a really good player. He just he's not going to fit the scheme, right? And it's unfortunate, but if he doesn't fit the scheme, and obviously Leonard got with Bean, right? I don't think Bean just went rogue and be like, hey, fuck you, Leonard. I know you like the guy. I'm going to cut him. Like, that's not how it works. I'm sure this was discussed. This is a player that obviously Bean respected and loved, right? I believe he was his draft pick. So, I'm sure he wasn't happy with doing what he had to do, but ultimately I'm sure he got with Leonard, and Leonard was just like, I don't see a spot where he's going to be effective on this defense, right? And then you have to do what's best, man, at the end of the day. We do got a super chat here coming from Danger Zone. Jets podcast, always showing love to this channel. I appreciate you, man. Let me go ahead and hit that train horn for you real quick, because you know how I be doing. Oh, yeah. Hey, I appreciate you, bro. It says, fuck the Fins. That is all. Hit the like. Yeah, man, fuck the Fins. That's my most hated team, by the way. Like, can't stand the Dolphins. Can't fucking stand them. And that's probably because I grew up in South Florida. And my family were diehard Dolphin fans. And obviously I'm a Buffalo Bills fan. And yeah, I couldn't stand them. I could not stand the Dolphins. Plus the rivalry we had in the 90s with them was epic, right? They hated us. We hated them. Like, that was a real rivalry, man. That was some serious shit right there. Richie coming in. Diggs also gonna likely be suspended. Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that for some time pending his legal crap. I totally forgot. Richie, thank you for bringing that up. I honestly forgot about that. We'll see where that leads to. Sometimes the NFL takes their time on that. So let's see first. Like, I haven't really dug into the legal side of what's going on with him there. But you're all right. It is a case that's open, and the NFL obviously looks into everything. So he could get suspended. And I'll say this: the last thing we need to do is be signing players like we did last year that are being suspended. Larry Ogunjobi, right? Hoyt. No, now, mind you, I like the Hoyt signing. The Ogunjobi one was a terrible signing. And that's one thing Brandon Beane needs to be better at is free agency, right? And I hope this free agency goes a lot better than it's gone, right? Because that's one thing I feel like he needs to figure out and needs to get better at. But yeah, we don't need any more players that aren't available week one, right? Yeah, stay away from that. But I am excited, by the way, for Hoyt coming back for year 2. Obviously, he's on a 3-year contract. He recently posted that he should be good to go by camp. We'll see. Every player is different, guys, on how they recover from the Achilles or ACLs even. So we'll see. But I like the optimism. We'll find out. Curtis Samuel, adios. About time. Rapp. Yep. So obviously the guys that got cut today, right there, you see it on the ticker: Taron Johnson, Curtis Samuel, Taylor Rapp, and Dane Jackson. Taylor Rapp, his time was way done. That was a McDermott guy, by the way. That was not a Bean guy. You can thank McDermott for that. Curtis Samuel, that was probably a Bean mistake. I know it was. Bad signing. And waste of money. And you know, another guy that's going to be probably a waste of money is Palmer. He'll be going into year 2 unless he's traded, unless somebody wants his contract, which I doubt. But you never know. Could be a package deal or something like that. But more than likely, Palmer would be back year 2, and that's a bad signing, it looks like, unless he somehow turns it around year 2. But I just didn't see anything from Palmer when he was healthy that told me, hey, that guy's going to be something here. Like, I just didn't see it. So that's going to be a bad signing. But these guys here, everybody, you know, those guys needed to go. You know, Taron, obviously, still a very good player, but it was just scheme. But those other guys, Curtis Samuel, Taylor Rapp, Dane Jackson, their time was done here in Buffalo. If Diggs isn't on a team at the end of training camp, Diggs could end up on the practice squad. I don't think he returns, Robert. I really don't. We've gone down this road before with previous players we either traded or had kind of a falling out. Like, oh, this guy might come back. This guy, and they never do. There's a reason why they left here. Most of the time, it didn't end well. Like, I doubt there's a return. And not only that, like, if you go back, Diggs, the whole thing really kind of started when Brady took over as offensive coordinator, when Dorsey got fired. And I don't know if Diggs and Brady see eye to eye on the offense either. And I think that's kind of was a problem as well here. And I just, like I said, I just don't see it happening. Would I welcome it? Sure. If it was a cheapy deal, I would have no problem with it. Right? I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh man, I can't believe Diggs is on the team. Like, I'll be fine with it. I just don't see it happening. J-Ham, Tommy, I do wonder your actual thoughts on the money aspect. It's a little high to me, but not as crazy as people are making out to be. Talking about DJ Moore. So no, it's not that crazy. So like, DJ Moore, like if he was a free agent, like I kind of looked it up where he would be. Like, he's considered a top 20 receiver. Okay. He would be at around, let's see here. If he was a free agent, he'd be about an average of 25 to 30 per season with guarantees, right? They're talking about like a 75, 90 million kind of deal he might get somewhere else. Like, I don't think it's crazy. I really don't. Like, he's getting right now, what, 27.5. Like, it may be maybe slightly high considering what he did last year. But you know, I do think he had a little off season last year, but I also think the Bears had a lot of weapons kind of, and they were spreading the ball around there a little bit more. But I still believe he could fill that role as a one. You know, if you look throughout his time, his stats, he's done very, very well. The problem was when he went to Chicago, Justin Fields, come on, guys, a young Caleb Williams, like, you know, it's tough for those kind of guys. And once again, I'm not trying to use an excuse, but he's proven enough to me throughout his time in the NFL that he could be a one, and he's reliable. So I'm not going to take that away for him having a so-so year in 2025. You're not releasing these players if they're not a big plan in place. I think Max Crosby or Trey Hendrickson is a bill soon. Richie. Boy, oh boy. The Max Crosby thing is interesting, but if you trade for Max, be prepared to lose your first, right? Which is fine. I wouldn't, once again, I wouldn't be mad about it. But then that leads us to a third, and they're going to want more than just one first. They're probably going to want possibly two. They're going to probably want your 2026 and your 2027. I just don't know if being is ultra aggressive. I think he's going to be aggressive. I just don't know if that I don't know. I don't know if that happens. And Trey Hendrickson, my only issue with him is I believe he just turned 30 or 31 in December. He's still playing at a high level, but I don't think you have a lot of time left in him. I think Crosby, I believe he's 28. You got a little bit more time with Crosby in his prime. Hendrickson, you could probably do like a 3-year deal, maybe 4, get out after 2. But it would be pricey. It's going to cost you. So, once again, I don't give a shit what it costs. If you could bring in a guy here that's impactful and it can give us a 2 to 3 year run, that is enough time to get to a Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl. That's all we care about. That's it. After that, nobody gives a shit if we have to release that guy, after year 3. Or, right? He was here. He got the job done. He was part of the solution, right? That made the Bills get to a Super Bowl, win a Super Bowl. After that, I could give a shit about where our cap is. If we have to, start cutting a lot of players 3 years, 4 years from now to get back and, under the cap. The ultimate job, the ultimate goal is to get a Super Bowl, right? If we have to suffer a couple years or a year after winning a Super Bowl because now we have to get rid of some of these, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. You got, but we'll see. I just don't know if he's ultra aggressive with going after like a Crosby. I could be wrong. We'll see. We'll see what kind of we'll find out soon, actually, what he winds up doing here. But I just have a feeling. I don't know why. I have a feeling Crosby's going to wind up just staying with the Raiders. Just like Jefferson, he's not going anywhere. I just don't see it, guys. AJ Brown, I do feel like he's going to be shipped. I do. I think there's going to be somebody that takes a swing on AJ Brown. It could be the Patriots guys. I don't want to be that guy, but it could be. They got the money. He's played with, obviously he's played with the head coach, right? Like, in Tennessee, right? So he has a relationship there with Vrabel. They have the money to, probably redo his contract if needed. So kind of all signs kind of point there if he's going to be dealt. But yeah. Am I good? Oh, not choppy at all. Okay, good. I was just about to ask that. Thank you. Yeah, you're good now, Tommy. That was a while ago. Okay. Thank you, Sandra. I don't know what happened. Technology. Richie Fresh said they were absolutely cutting those players regardless. Dead weight. Yeah, I would say the only one would be Taron, would be the guy that it might have been a difficult thing for Brandon Beane to do because he's still a really good player, guys. I don't know if you heard Aaron Rodgers talk about Taron Johnson being one of the better defenders in the NFL, like how much he respects him and all that. Like, not that I like Aaron Rodgers. I think Aaron Rodgers is a fucking weirdo, but I do respect what he's done on the field, right? And he's very knowledgeable of the game, obviously. So coming from him to say that about a defender that's not even a guy he's even, been on a team with, that's pretty high praise. He could have said that. He didn't, he could have said something about Rousseau or something about Ed Oliver or something about Christian Benford, right? Cole Bishop, like Trey White, like he picked out Taron Johnson, right? Like there's a reason, right? Why, right? Like he's not gaining anything from giving, boosting up Taron Johnson. So yeah, that's high praise for Taron. And Taron's Taron's a good player. He just wasn't going to fit into the scheme. But yeah, I'll miss him, man. He made, obviously, the playoff game is the one, obviously the biggest play we'll remember from Taron. The pick 6 of Lamar, but the dude was a hell of a player. And I'm not going to knock him at all for, the thing for the player he was here. I wish him nothing but the best. I really do. The other players, man, Curtis Samuel, like, I won't knock any of them, but Curtis Samuel did nothing here. You know, will he wind up making a team elsewhere? Probably. Will he do it? Will he be effective? Probably not, because he can't stay healthy. You know, Dane Jackson. Look, Dane Jackson is depth, right? Someone's going to pick him up, right? That guy will get a job somewhere, right? So a team will need his services as depth. And who's the other guy? Oh, Taylor Rapp. Same thing with Taylor Rapp. He's depth. You know, he has experience. Somebody's going to pick him up as well. Like, so you think about all the guys that we cut. I mean, maybe the worst one was Curtis Samuel, but I still feel like all of them are serviceable. All of them will get a contract somewhere. So, you know, they weren't all trash. I would say that the worst one was Samuel out of the bunch, followed by Rapp, or maybe Dane Jackson and Rapp. Scott Blakely, what's going on, Scott? Yeah, Tommy, don't go to the draft. Bean trading back to get a second round pick. Yeah, I won't be going to any draft anytime soon, Scott. You have no. Hey, Keys in the house, man. I don't know how long you've been waiting for me to answer your chat, but I got to your chat, buddy. Trust me, I always do, man. How you doing, Keys? I watched most of your guys' podcasts, but I had to dip out. I had to go to the grocery store. I had to pick up some stuff for the weekend, man. I like to get. I don't know about you guys. I like to get my grocery shopping over with, and just have the weekend just home, man. I'm a homebody. I don't know about y'all, but I am a homebody. I do not like to leave the house. Matter of fact, when I leave the house and I'm driving, I just cannot wait to get back home. Like, like today, this guy almost hit me in his car, like just swerving in my life. I'm just like, man, I gotta get home. I can't be out here. I can't be in society. I gotta be right here, right? I can talk to y'all on here on this computer screen. I can't be out there with y'all. I can't. I don't know what happened to me, man, but I got like, and I don't have a short fuse. I just have. Matter of fact, I don't have a short fuse at all. I can't be outside. I'm just not comfortable with it anymore. It's like everything is just. It's like, oh man, like driving and just, you know, going to stores and people are just acting a fool. Just, matter of fact, today I'm in Myers, which is our grocery store here, and I'm like, I think I'm in line at the checkout, or I think I was checking out, and some guy was screaming in Myers about disrespecting him. I mean, I was like, man, I gotta get out of here. I gotta go home. I don't want to be a part of this. But anyways, Keys, yeah, I had to dip out, but I caught most of your show, and I had to play lawyer again on your show and defend my boy Brandon Bean. But you know what? I give up, Keys. I do. I have to give up. I love y'all's show. I'll continue to watch because you guys are badass. And guys, by the way, if you don't know Post Podium Podcast, go over there, subscribe. Great dudes, good friends. I talk to them daily, especially Keys. But yeah, they're not going to let go of the Brandon Bean hate, man. And I can't. Everything I say is just not going to. It's not going to change their opinion, man. So I'll have to voice my opinion here. I'll have to be Brandon Bean's voice on this channel because it's not going to be heard on probably most channels. But they believe what they believe, and I listen. I respect that, man. I respect that, but I just feel like nothing he does at this point, at least for them and a lot of people, is going to be good enough for them. So, and it's okay. It is what it is. It is what it is. Why would you want Diggs back? Yeah, look, like I said, I wouldn't hate it, man. But he ain't coming back, right? And it doesn't matter to me, right? Like, it really does. Like, that really doesn't. You know what I mean? Like, if you're in desperate mode here, where I'm like, oh man, like we're in mid-season and Diggs is available, and we're just really having a tough time here at receiver, which let's hope that's not the case. Then fine, maybe I'm like, you know what, fuck it, Diggs is available. But yeah, he's kind of last on my list. Maybe not dead last, but he's low on the list of guys that I would want to pick up and have back on the roster. And I don't think he even wants to be back on the roster, to be honest with you. He's going to wind up being a journeyman, right? He's played for the Vikings. He's played for the Bills. He's played for the Texans. He's played for the Patriots. So what is that? Minnesota, Buffalo, Texans, New England. That's 14. He's going on his 5th team, more than likely, right? Like he's probably going to wind up finishing his career like a TO, right? Where he's just jumping all over the place. And, it is what it is. He'll get his couple million, per season, probably, whatever he gets for the remainder of his time in the NFL. And then he'll retire and he'll be fine. But he has to chill on the kids, man. He's going to wind up paying a lot of money for child support. I wouldn't want Diggs back either, as one of the few that wished he stayed at the time. But nah, that ship has passed. Yeah, that ship has sailed and done. I'm okay with, like I said, I wouldn't hate it. Like I wouldn't be like, punching the wall if Diggs wind up being back on the roster. But I don't think I would be like, rushing to the computer and with my breaking news that Diggs is back on the team. Not sure it's true. It was said when Brady got OC job, Diggs wanted out, and I think there was a disconnect right away. I do. I just felt like the offensive approach. It took a 360, right? Like or 180, whatever you want to call it. It went into a totally different direction. Put it that way, right? It took a major detour, and I don't think Diggs wanted to be a part of that or saw himself being used the way he would prefer him being used on the offense. And I don't think Brady and McDermott were going to back off of what they envision the new offense to be. And I think there was a problem there. And it wasn't going to go away. And ultimately, that's what led to Diggs being traded. DJ Moore is okay. I just think we are a year or two too late. No, he's 28 years old, bro, Cato. That's false. He's still in his prime. He's a young player. A second round pick is nothing. Once again, we sat here last year mad that Brandon Beane didn't give up 2 first-round picks for Jalen Waddle, who's done less than DJ Moore, right, since 2023, right? It really in his career, right? And we only gave up a second, and yet we're sitting here complaining about it. But yet we were fine with giving up a first, and some of you guys were fine with giving up 2 for Waddle, right? And you know why? Because it was desperation mode. And I think Bills Mafia didn't care at the time. They just wanted some type of receiver here that was a household name. And they were willing to give up first. But in all reality, if we went into this offseason, we gave up a first-round pick for Jalen Waddle, I think a lot of you guys would be like, oh, man, I don't know. Maybe that's a little bit too high now. Right? Just saying. So what we gave up for DJ Moore in a second-round pick, 28-year-old player who's still in his prime, I have no problem with. And I don't think this is over, meaning I do not believe Brandon Beane's just going to be like, okay, I gave you what you wanted. Like, now you have your one. Now it's time to focus strictly on defense. I don't believe that to be the case. Now, do I think that we're going to need more defensive players in free agency in the draft? Probably, because we have more holes there than the offense. We don't have a lot of holes in offense. We really don't. Like, we sit here complain about the offense, but really it's one position. It's a receiver. We needed that guy. We got the guy. Now we're like, oh, it's not good enough. Oh, not good enough. Oh, man, we wanted Justin Jefferson, man. Guys, calm down, man. Pump the brakes. Our offense was top 5. Did it stutter? Did it stall out at times? Sure. Why did it stall out? Why? We didn't have a go-to guy when needed, right? When defense is locked up, we didn't have that guy that could separate, right? We didn't have a guy that had a large route, a big route tree. like DJ Moore has. A guy that can step up and make a big play when needed, like a DJ Moore. We didn't have that luxury. Right? Now we have it, and now fans are like, oh, but I don't know. That's not good enough. We gave him a second-round pick. What? Look at the contract. The contract's fine. He would have got pretty much close to that in free agency. And stop with the whole he would have been cut by the Bears. You don't know that. You don't know that. Do you work for the Bears? You guys work for the Bears? Anybody you know? Is your uncle the fucking assistant GM there? Oh, but the Bears would have cut him. Really? Would they have? Why? Because you said so? I mean, it's unbelievable. A.J. Brown is on the market, and those and these scrubs swung for DJ Moore. See, I disagree, bro. I see. So here we go. So our first one in the chat here, and that's fine. Look, everyone's gonna have their opinion, man. One, he's not a scrub. He's proven not to be a scrub. Two, A.J. Brown. Look, A.J. Brown's a hell of a player. He is, but he has problems himself. And it's not like, one, A.J. Brown hasn't even been traded yet, so we have no idea what the Eagles are really truly want for A.J. Brown, or if they're going to get it, or what else going to happen there. Two, we've seen A.J. Brown when he has his meltdowns, okay? And I'm not saying like another player want to have that, but we don't know what would have happened here if A.J. Brown would have came here. We have no idea. Could have been great. I couldn't tell you that, but I don't think DJ Moore is this god awful receiver where we're like, oh, we got a Trent Sherfield on our hands. We got a Josh Palmer on here. We got a Curtis Samuel on our hands. We got a really good receiver, top 20, I would say, receiver on this team. Is he elite? No. Is he up there with elite like A.J. Brown? No. I'm honest. But is he a B receiver? No. He's a good receiver. Right? And we're not done. Right? And once again, though, the offense really wasn't the major issue last year. There was only a piece of the offense. Right? And, of course, there's other stuff I didn't care for, and that was mainly play calling by Joe Brady, which I'm pleased Joe Brady do better with that. And hopefully with Carmichael he does and gets a little bit more creative and with his play calling, and also understand once the room is filled, right? I'm talking about his offensive weapons. He understands what each player's strengths and weaknesses are and utilizes them in the offense. But outside of that, sure, like our offense was fine. It just was that we were missing that one thing. And that one thing was a receiver. DJ Moore's fine. Once again, is he elite? No. And I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say he'll be that elite receiver, right? But will he be a good receiver? Better than anyone that we have currently on the roster? The answer is yes. If we had him last year, things may have been differently in the playoffs. Maybe we score more than 30 points. We score 36. We win 36-33. Just saying. Maybe he comes down with that catch. I'd have more faith in DJ Moore than I would Cooks in that predicament, in that spot. Right? Let's be real here. And once again, free agency has not even begun yet. We have no idea if they're going to sign another free agent receiver, right? There's still names out there that could be had, or if we go and draft a young receiver in the draft, right? And there's some decent ones out there. Boston is intriguing, right? That's a guy that could probably fall to you at 26, right? Maybe if you go to the second round, if let's say you trade back, right? You could probably maybe get a Brazil. Messing up his name. Who's a 6'5" receiver who has a lot of upside. Runs a 4.4. right? But the true thing we need to work on, because now we got our guy. Now it's just kind of like, okay, who could be we need one more receiver. But really, it's about the defense, right? Now we got to hone in on really what's been the issue here over the last 4 seasons, which is the defense. It's not really so much the offense. And I feel like DJ Moore kind of fills that need. But I don't think it's over with. I think we add another piece. Being out in Chicago, fans are heartbreaking with the trade. Guess he is really a class man and great for the locker room. Yeah. So everything I've heard about DJ Moore is a stand-up guy, good locker room guy. He actually put Caleb Williams in check his rookie year because Caleb was acting like he's the man right away. He's a professional, and I love that. You know what I mean? But I also want you guys to understand, this isn't McDermott's show anymore, right? I don't know if this is going to be we want all choir boys in our locker room anymore, right? That's why I'm saying let's give Bean an opportunity here to see what he does in free agency and the draft. What type of players now come to Buffalo, right? Is because I just don't see it as these type of McDermott kind of guys, or the kind of guys that he wanted in the locker room, right? It's not going to be all about culture, right? But that's my opinion. We'll see. We'll find out very soon, right? I'll tell you the truth. Bean's either going to really disappoint me, or he's going to prove I'm right about it. That's it. And then at the end of the day, we'll have this talk again, at some point during the year, and we'll go, well, if I have to eat crow on it, I will. Well, damn, you know what? Maybe he wasn't fit for the job. Or maybe I'll sit here and go, damn, that dude made some really good moves, and look at our team go. And yeah, this looks about right. So we'll find out. We will find out. Because the offense focus changed on Diggs. He wasn't going to get a touch. Yeah, absolutely. Things are changing. What's up, Tom? What's up, Dallas? How you doing, brother? Okay. Can we give DJ a chance? Gut word see on his chest. Respect the locker room guy, community guy. Yeah, exactly. Dude, I'm 100% with you. I just don't understand I don't understand Bill's Mafia at times. And I'm glad to see a lot of you guys in here tonight that are agreeing with me. That see this trade as a good thing, not a bad thing. Like, I don't understand why it's such a bad thing in a lot of Bill's Mafia's eyes. Like I said, I truly believe, guys, that this is coming down to Bill's Mafia, or just a lot of Bill's Mafia, some podcasters, they just don't like the guy. And it doesn't matter what kind of move this guy makes, it's going to be a bad move, right? And look, I'm not going to see it like that. If he makes a bad move or a bad signing, I'm going to tell you guys. I don't like that sign. Matter of fact, last year I told right away, I'm like, Palmer, don't like it. Didn't like it. I didn't like it since day one. You can ask Mikey, my co-host. I remember texting him going, why are we doing this? Why are we getting guys like this? It wasn't like Palmer was doing these great things with LA. He was like the third option. But yet we treated him like he's a one almost. Right? Gave him a 3-year good contract. Like, it just didn't make sense. I didn't see it. Right? Oh, he's the separator. He didn't separate for shit. Right? He separated his ass right back on the bench. Right? Like, I just didn't see it. And I think, bad signing. Right? So I'll tell you, Larry Ogunjobi, same thing. I'm like, why? Even before I found out that he was suspended, I didn't like the signing. So I'll call out when signings are bad or things I don't agree with. And I'm not saying I'm right on those opinions, but I'm not going to sit here and just be like, everything's great. And I'm also not going to be sitting here and say it's all bad. Everything's bad. Like we're not even in free agency and we're already determining the outcome. It's wild to me. Free agency has not even begun, and we're already determining the outcome. Oh, it's going to be bad. Typical offseason for the Bills. Oh, my God. DJ has some nice guys. Absolutely. Matter of fact, I think it was the one catch versus Green Bay that had that won an award, some award show or something like that. The dude has good hands, good route runner, decent speed. I think he runs like a 4.4. Well-rounded receiver. But, people. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. I don't care if Knox is gone. Yeah, he's Mr. Brightside, whatever. Mark, look, my thoughts on Knox is, that's funny, Mr. Brightside. He's a good dude. He is. He's a hell of a teammate. Okay, like I said, once again, you got to go through the pros and cons of these guys as well, right? You gotta weigh the good and the bad, right? I don't think he's a bad tight end. I don't. I think he's a good option that he comes up big in certain games, certain moments. Very good blocking tight end. For the most part, he's been reliable as far as health goes. I just feel like we got a little rushy and paid him on the extension early after he had that 8 touchdown season. It kind of backfired on us. And by the way, we're not the only team that makes these mistakes. Teams make it all the time where they get a little ahead of themselves after a player has a good year. They give them the extension a little bit early, trying to get it out of the way, and it winds up backfiring. That's what happened with the Knox signing. It backfired on us. But he also took a cut. He wound up taking a cut, I believe, last year from his contract. And I feel like they're going to work something out with him, in my opinion, where the contract makes sense. And if it makes sense, I have no problem with Dawson Knox being here. I really don't. No, you're good. Keys. Keys is my homeboy, man. I love that dude, bro. I try to shop once a week, but fail. Weekly, week on Saturday. Yeah, dude, I get my shit done with Friday, Keys, man. It's like to get it over with and, barricade myself in the house all weekend. I just hate it. Hate going outside, bro. I'm insane land with the WGR Sal locked in speculation. I listen to WGR. I got the app here once in a while. I actually listen to these guys out here in Detroit. Most of you guys know I live in Detroit. They got a station out here, and I highly recommend you guys check them out on Odyssey. I believe they're on YouTube as well. It's 97.1 The Ticket. It's Mike Valenti. So the Mike Valenti Show. Check that out. That guy there is brutal. They remind me a lot. His personality is a lot like Post Podium in a way. They're going to be very, very brutally honest with their opinion. Doesn't mean they're always right. I don't agree with everything he says. Just like my boys over at Post Podium. I don't agree with everything they say. There's some things I do though. But it's a fun show. They have a good time. They joke around a lot. But the dude has, I would say Mike Valenti thinks a lot like me as far as how he wants his, teams to be as far as being, aggressive. His GMs, he wants them to be aggressive. He doesn't mind the all-in, going all in, especially when your team is at that point where they can get to a Super Bowl or get to an NBA championship or get to a World Series. Why would you not at that point? And his point is when he always says, and I'm totally with that, when you're in a city that hasn't done shit, you have 0 rings, or the last time you won was fucking 30 years ago. Why are you hesitating? Go all in. You're not going to be here forever, right? Like, You're not going to be this good team. There's a window, right, that you have where you're on top, kind of, right? So go all in, especially when you haven't done anything in years or ever. And I'm totally with him on that. And that's one thing I wish Brandon Beane would do, and I'm hoping he does moving forward, where it's like you have this team that's a good team. It's been good. You need to eventually go, look, we're not going to, things are going to eventually not going to be like this. Our quarterback, Josh Allen, is not going to always be this great for so long. We're at a spot where we have to just start thinking about going all in and playing all our cards, right? Putting all the money in, putting all your chips in. And I hope he does that. I hope he realizes that, because what they've been doing hasn't worked. It's been fine, right? Meaning we're winning, we're going to the playoffs, but it hasn't been championship greatness, right? It's just been a team that's just kind of riding this wave. Right? Is riding the wave. And eventually that wave crashes down. Right? Just saying. And I really want him to start understanding that you got a guy who's, and Josh Allen, who's 30 years old, and the style of football he plays, his prime, it's not gonna be very long. Right? He doesn't have that much time left to play that type of football. Let's be real, right? We already see Allen, right, getting hurt every year because of the style play he plays, right? Every year, there's something. But because he's a tough, durable guy, he makes it through the season, right? And the thing with Bills Mafia, we're always like, yeah, that's Josh, right? Doesn't matter about his hand being broken, right? Or his foot being, Josh can get through it, right? He's a tough guy. But eventually, age catches up to you. You can't defeat Father Time. Eventually, these injuries start to take effect, and you really start to feel them more and more and more as you get older. And eventually, you do run into and let's knock on wood, it doesn't happen, a major injury, right, that sets you back. Like, so that's what I'm saying. Like, and as a GM, you got to be aware of this. And you got to understand this, right? You don't get a guy like this very often, right? And now you got him, and now you've been in 8 years with him, right? And you haven't accomplished what you wanted to accomplish. It's time to go all in, right? It's time to take a detour on what you've been doing, because what you've been doing has been okay, but it hasn't been great enough to get the job done. And that's all I want, right? And as a fan, I was okay with the way things were going from let's just say 2017, right? The start of McDermott, McBean era, all the way up to, I would say 2022 is where I started to say, okay, look, like there has to be another goal here. Like we have to start doing things differently, because it's the same results. We're a good team, but the same results, right? We got this young quarterback who's starting to now get older as the seasons go on. As a GM, as a coach, McDermott, you have to maybe start doing things differently. Maybe get outside your comfort zone. Right? And McDermott was never willing to do that, right? He threw the same defense out there every year, right? He wanted the style of offense that you've seen over the course of the last 2 years, all right, 2.5 really. That was this old school type of offense to really cater to his defense. So his defense could stay on the sideline, right? They don't have to be on the field a long time. You have these long drives, but that's not how this team was built initially, right? That's not how Dable had this team running, right? We were scoring points and scoring fast. And then we went the total opposite approach. Right? To what? To cater to the defense that still gave up a ton of points. So it didn't even matter that we had these long extended drives. So now that McDermott's gone and you got a new vision, which, I'm hoping Brady, at least for the offense, can mix it up a little bit better than he has. But you got a totally different scheme and vision on defense, which has really been our Achilles heel, right? Like, that's really what's been setting us back, if we're going to be honest. Possibly from already winning a Super Bowl or going to one. So you all should be excited about this change, not negative. Not going, second round pick. I can't believe it for DJ. Guys, slow down. Let free agency play out. Let the draft play out. Let's see how this new vision is going to really look once McDermott and Brady, right, and Leonard build it up. Let's give them an opportunity before we already judge them and go, it's going to fail. It's going to be dog shit. And look, I wasn't crazy about the Brady hire, and I'm still on the fence about it. I'm not going to lie. But because of the coaching staff that they built around Joe Brady, it's gotten me, I feel much more comfortable going into the 2026 season because of that, if that makes sense. Vader, even Friday for me. And yes, I also can't wait to get back home with Vader. Hey, me and Vader, man. Absolutely. I think the young coaches that we have, there's going to be a lot more risk overall. Brady and Leonard are going to take chances a lot more than we were used to. Brady's definitely going to spread the ball. And most importantly, it's the defensive side of things. Not to mention, too, we got John Fox, who is a low-key, great coaching hire. Unbelievable coaching hire. Like, that dude took two terrible teams to the Super Bowl in, no time. No time. Turn that shit around like that. Something that we wanted McDermott to do, and he kind of did it, right? But the difference was John Fox actually got his team to the Super Bowl. Now, did he win it? No. But he got to the dance. At least he got there. He's a winning head coach. That's, of course I want to win the Super Bowl, right? But McDermott couldn't even get us there. McDermott could only do so much. But anyways, John Fox being on this team is a great hire, right? He's the assistant coach, senior assistant coach. So he's going to get with Brady. He's going to get with Leonard. He's seen every type of offense and defense in the NFL throughout the years, right? It's a great combination of coaches that they built on the staff. I love it. I absolutely love it. Brady, however, we'll see. I'm just a little worried with him calling plays his first year. I'm not thrilled about that. So we'll see. Time will tell. Sandra, I go shopping early in the week so I don't have to be a part of the weekend rush. Yeah. So I work Tuesday through Thursday. I do 12-hour shifts. So I can't go shopping. Plus I get paid Fridays, right? Direct deposit. So I wake up. I sleep until 2 in the afternoon because I'm so exhausted. I get home at by the time I get to bed, it's 7 a.m., right? So I got to get some sleep. So wake up, take a shower, go to the store, do what I got to do, get gas in my car, maybe grab a bite to eat at Taco Bell. And as you can see, Taco Bell. Get a Taco Bell, get home, and I'm done, right? I'm done. Raiders traded Max Crosby to the Ravens in exchange for 2026. Is this accurate? Let me see here. Wow. Ravens change for 2026, 2027. Let me wow, if that's accurate, that's interesting. Very interesting. Let me see here. God, that's a big trade for them. Good for them if that's the case. I don't. Let me see here. Crosby. I mean, it is what it is. You know, if they did, they did. That's a great addition for the Ravens. If they did, I don't see anything on it though. Let me see here. Max Crosby. Of course, my Twitter's not working at the moment, so I have no idea if that's accurate. Guys, is that accurate? I really don't know. I can't. At the moment, my X is down for me. Let me see here. No, it's up here. Yeah, the Raiders. Wow, absolutely, it's true. The Raiders agreed to trade 5-time Pro Bowler Max Crosby to the Ravens in exchange for 2026, 2027 first-round pick. The trade cannot be processed until next week, but it's in place. Wow, that's a major trade for the Ravens. Thanks you. Hey, I appreciate you giving me the update on that trade. That's a blockbuster trade. Absolutely a blockbuster trade for the Baltimore Ravens. But they gave up 2 first-round picks too in the process. I mean, which is exactly what I said earlier on in this podcast, what it would take to get Max Crosby. And you're going to have to pay him. Like, he's not going to come cheap. And more than likely, what they'll do is they'll probably rework his contract, but he's going to get paid like he should get paid. But yeah, that's a great trade. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't give up. I'm not. Why would I? Why Keys? Why because we didn't trade for Max Crosby? It takes 2 to tango, right? I'm sure they made the call, and maybe we weren't willing to give up that for Max Crosby. So I don't understand. Like, you can't laugh or you can't criticize every move another team. So if another team makes a trade, we can't assume that Bean or any team didn't call for that certain player to offer a certain thing. It takes 2 to tango, right? We have no idea what happened behind closed door. I'm not going to criticize him for not making that move. We have no idea if he called or anything like that. So it's a good trade, but I'm not gonna knock him for that. And it's awesome to be on Bean Island. I have no problem. Look, right now, as we sit today, Keys, I don't think Bean's done anything that wrong where I'm already going, oh man, this guy. Maybe I'm wrong about Brandon Bean. I don't hate the DJ Moore trade at all. The players that he released today needed to be released. The coaching staff that he helped build, minus Brady, who I'm still on the fence on, and I'll admit that. I absolutely love the rest of the coaching staff. And once again, free agency and the draft are not even here yet. So I'm not going to be critical over Brandon Bean over things that have not even happened yet. And that's why I don't understand. And honestly, I've given up on defending him and y'all. And I love you guys, but I'm done. I can't do it no more, Keys. I can't. I love it. I love y'all. I love that you guys keep it 1,000% honest. At least honest how you guys see it, right? Your opinion, just like me. And I'm sure you say the same thing about me. You don't agree with my takes, and I don't expect everybody to agree with my takes either. But basically, me defending them and other people's podcasts, not just yours, is not going anywhere. I'll just have to, do what I got to do here, express my feelings here, just like y'all express your feelings about him on your channel. So I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get the hate. I don't get the I don't get the quick to judge somebody before things even happen. I mean, we just fired McDermott, right? We've now given Bean the green light, right? As far as how his vision is and how he feels like this team should be built, along with obviously Joe Brady and the new coaching staff, right? And by the way, too, you love the assistant GMs that you bring up all the time. They're part of this too. So I don't understand why you feel like Brandon Bean isn't getting with his assistant GMs, his scouting department, his head coach, his offensive coordinator, his defensive coordinator, his coaching staff in general, when he's going out and looking at these free agents, or when he's going out looking at the NFL trade, when they're building the board up, right? The big board, right? Or in trades. Like, he's not going rogue. This is a totally different direction. And I really feel like we're not giving him, I am, but a lot of people just refuse to give the guy an opportunity to show what he could do now that McDermott is out of here. I don't get it. I don't understand it for the life of me. But it's an argument I'm not going to win when it comes to me going on other channels, trying to speak my mind, defend Brandon Bean's actions. I just can't win with that. And it is what it is, man. It is what it is. I don't know what to say anymore. I'm just glad I'm glad that I have a platform where I can speak my mind too, right? Like, and that's one thing too. Like, and I'll tell you this, guys. Hey, if you guys are a personality, you feel like you could do this, dude, guys, man, it's a fun thing to do. Start up your own podcast and speak your fucking mind, man. Don't let, be your own person. Don't let people steer you in their direction because they feel like it's best. Like, do your own homework, be your own, person as far as your own opinions and thoughts. And if you're wrong, you're wrong. It's okay. None of us are perfect. We all make mistakes. I have no idea if Brandon Bean's going to wind up turning the ship around and making us a Super Bowl contender. I believe so. But we'll see. Time will tell, man. But I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, shit, he's dog shit. He's garbage. Everything he does is terrible. I can't do that. I can't. I don't think it's fair to the person. I just don't get it, man. I don't know. Yeah, no, it's legit. It definitely looks legit. Man, this bro, guys, we are 2 hours in. I had all this shit pulled up tonight for you guys to talk about. And we just been honestly, we're just sitting here having a good time talking in the chat, man. And I appreciate you guys 1,000%. Without you guys, this honestly, this stream, this podcast ain't going anywhere. Like, and I love you guys for that, man. I really, really do, because when I started this podcast, this is exactly what me and Mikey envisioned, how we wanted this to be. More of a tailgate type of atmosphere, where it's not X's and O's, where we could just shoot the shit and talk Buffalo Bills football, man. And we're not going to always get things right, man. But we're going to have fun talking about Buffalo Bills football, man. Let's see here. My gosh, Max could have been had. Yeah, but, once again, it doesn't mean that we didn't make the phone call. It takes two to tango. I have no idea if the Bills were interested or not. Maybe they weren't. Maybe they didn't even call. I have no idea. But it's unfair for me to say they didn't try without me really knowing that they gave the call. Matter of fact, Brandon Bean came out and said he made the call to the Dolphins. He offered them a 1 for Waddle, which everyone's complaining that everyone had no problem giving up a 1 at that time. And the Dolphins never countered. And that's how it works with the trade, guys. It's if Brandon Bean were to call back like, hey, guys, so what are we going to do here? Like, that's not how negotiations work, right? It takes two to tango, right? And the Dolphins winded up not even trading Waddle. They still haven't traded Waddle. So that tells me they weren't serious at the time. right? Or maybe they wanted an unreal offer or a desperate Brandon Bean to call up and be like, all right, fuck it, I'll give you 2 first rounds. And then they probably would have took it, but that would have been reaching. So we have no idea if he called in on the Max Crosby thing, but it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Max Crosby is traded. That's good for the Ravens. Breaking. Yeah, I know. I saw. Yep. It is what it is. It is what it is. It sucks, for us. But remember, Micah Parsons got traded last year, right, to the Green Bay Packers. It's unfortunate that he got hurt. It's not like Green Bay, was a Super Bowl team right away. They had their own problems on offense, right? Like, does Max Crosby make the Ravens better today? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'd be lying if I told you he didn't. But the Ravens have their own issues going on, right? And it wasn't always on defense, right? So for me, I worry about my team, right? We're not done yet. We have no idea what we're going to wind up doing here. So let's not get too dramatic on the Max Crosby thing. And my God, you are flooding my chat with Max Crosby as a Raven. That's good. I mean, I'll tell you, that's great. Can the Ravens now do something with their team? Like, I don't know if you're a Ravens fan, but I mean, you guys got Derrick Henry a couple years ago, and we're running mouths and how you're this great team and best team on paper last year. I remember going into the season, you did nothing with it. So look, man, at the end of the day, too, when we look at these teams, guys, and we go into the regular season, a lot of teams look great on paper. You got to put it together, right? And that's one thing I'll say about the Bills. We haven't really had, when we look at our roster over the last, 3 years, so 3+ years, it's not like we've looked at it and been like, bro, that's impressive. Like, I would say we've had good rosters, but nothing where it's like we're looking at Baltimore's roster or, some of these teams, the LA, we're like, damn, they're stacked with talent, right? I think the Ravens had like 9 Pro Bowlers. What did that get them? Nothing. Once again, I'm not knocking this. I think Max Crosby absolutely is a great player. Makes them a lot better today. You got to put it all together on the field, right? You got to make it work. And the Ravens sure as hell didn't make it work last year with a team that was a Super Bowl caliber team. So I don't want to. So don't give me that. You know what I mean? Like we'll find out. But yeah, he's a great addition. Hey, see, I agree with him not giving up for Waddle. Free the bean. Yeah. Keys is being trolling me now. Keys is trolling me. Love you, Keys, man. That's my big dog, by the way. No joke, guys. Me and Keys, because Keys works the night shift as well at the airport. And I work, obviously, the graveyard shift, too. I work 6 to 6. And me and Keys, man, we be talking for hours sometimes on X. Back and forth about Buffalo Bills football. And a lot of it's Brandon Bean talk. It's Brandon Bean talk. And we definitely don't agree a lot, but there's some things we agree on. But at the end of the day, man, it's all in fun, and he's a good friend of mine. But yeah, we definitely don't agree when it comes to Brandon Bean. Blocked, I appreciate you. Look, I don't mind if other fan bases come in here and they're excited, but there's no reason to put the same thing over 20 times, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Come on, man. People, man. People. Tommy will read all these chats in 15 minutes. Guys, that's one thing about me, man. I told you guys, I try to get to every single one of your chats, man. Ravens will screw it up. They probably will, but time will tell. I don't know. Maybe MJ was just doing his best Tom Cruise couch jumping impression. Yeah, I know. Crosby to the Ravens. That's a great trade. Bean can't be done. nowhere near what we expect. No, he's not done. He's not done. Guys, like I said, once again, man, let's wait and see how this thing plays out. There's going to be other trades around the NFL where we're going to say the same thing. A.J. Brown's might get traded. We're going to go, oh, man, we could have gave up, guys, don't get caught up in what other teams are doing. Focus on the Buffalo Bills. Focus on what we're doing, right? And so far, so good. I don't hate the move. I don't hate the trade for DJ Moore. I understand the players we released today. And over the weekend, by the way, we're still not under the cap. So there's a lot to do still that Brandon Beane needs to do to get under the cap and be able to sign free agents, which I expect him to do and get it over with by this weekend. So be prepared to see a lot of updates throughout the weekend on players being cut or players being restructured or maybe early extensions. I honestly think they should get the Osiris Torrance deal done early. He's a young player that still hasn't reached the ceiling, who I think is going to be here a while. So you might as well pay him, get it over with early, save some money. And that's always good. I'm always, by the way, guys, I think it's the smartest thing to do is to sign some of these top players that you have on your roster a little early. There's nothing wrong with that because as the season, as the years go on, their demand is going to be higher. And as the cap gets higher and higher, what they make goes higher and higher. That's just the way it works. You get these deals over with early, right? You get them locked in. They're not going anywhere, right? So I'd be all down for giving Osiris Torrance an early extension. The dude's young. He's been durable. And he still hasn't reached the ceiling yet. I still feel like he could be a better version of himself. So get that deal done, in my opinion. And finding good offensive linemen, it's not easy. I mean, look what's going on in Detroit right now. They're just they went from a really, really one of the best offensive line in the league to they're in some fucking trouble right now, right? They're in some fucking trouble, right? And when you have a problem on your O-line, there's a fucking problem. Right. And we're missing two of them now because I don't think we get McGovern back. And I don't think Edwards is returning. So, more than likely, and I could be wrong, but they're probably going to slide SVP to center, which is his true position in college in Georgia. And at guard, I could possibly see them signing a veteran and drafting a guard and having them maybe compete in training camp. But that's more than likely what's going to happen. But you got to get younger. And then you also got to find eventually Deion Dawkins' replacement down the line. I still think Deion Dawkins is in his prime. I think he's at the tail end of his prime. But you have to start understanding this and preparing for this. And that's one thing they didn't do well when it came to the safeties, for instance, Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde. When they started aging, when injuries started occurring more and more, they didn't address it, right? They just kind of, put patches on it, right? Got cheap free agent signings that, they didn't really do anything to kind of prepare for their exit, right? Luckily, Cole Bishop, a little late, but Cole Bishop, luckily for us, was a great draft pick. And we got our guy near. He's set. Now we need somebody beside him, right? Contract 15. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means, buddy. Crosby just got traded. I know. Crosby for this year and next year's first round. Look, man, would I have given up 2 first-round picks for Max Crosby? Yeah, I probably would have. I'm not gonna lie. I think that's a reasonable, fair trade. That is a hell of a player. I believe he's only 28 or 29, so he has some time left in his prime. But once again, we don't know if being called and they maybe didn't like our first round. I have no idea. Or maybe it was just too steep and they want to go younger. I have no idea. Right. But I'm not going to judge him on this trade. It is what it is. But that's hey, good for the Ravens, man. We'll see what happens with them. Yo, did you hear Crosby's the Richie? Yeah. Oh, Richie. What do you say, Rich? I never knew. Yo, you guys, Max is going to the Ravens. I know. Oh man, you guys are funny, man. LD, I don't know what that means. Max Crosby to the Ravens for a case of Reese tea. There you go. Spin, how you been, family? Talking to you, Spin. Being back. Brandon Cooks signed Christian Kirk, a draft for wide receiver for. Oh, bring back. You signed, bring back Brandon Cooks. Honestly, man, look, I like Brandon Cooks, but his hand, like, I don't know what's going on with his hands, but it seems like it's been a thing throughout his career where he just doesn't have good hands. He just doesn't. And it was a problem here. It showed to be a problem here. It wasn't even about that last game. He had many catches where they were just, or catches that should have happened where he just couldn't come down with the ball, bobbling the ball. Like, he's not a terrible receiver. Just, I've seen enough of Brandon Cooks. I think there's other guys out there that, you know, that I like better. Right. And right now, honestly, you really only need one more receiver because you're kind of getting flooded. And there's some guys out there that are still good. Matter of fact, let me see if I had something pulled up here. Where is that? Okay. So, matter of fact, let me pop this on the screen here, guys. Hold on. Let me pop it on the screen. This way you guys kind of can see what I'm seeing here. And no Tyreek Hill. By the way. Now, mind you, when I punch my wall if we sign Tyreek Hill? No, but he has so much going on. I just don't. And not only that, he said it himself. He wouldn't want to play for the Buffalo Bills. Doesn't like the town. So there's no. It just wouldn't be a good formula, right? It wouldn't be a good mix, right? I just don't. We'd be bringing a guy here that just would really only be coming here for the money, right? At the end of the day, and not about, you know, him, the love for the town, love for the city, or the love for the team, or his desire to play with Josh Allen. Like, it would strictly be because we're paying him, because everything that he said and about Buffalo and not liking the town here, not like whatever, you know, like, yeah. And then he has his own issues going on. So I have a weird feeling he's going to wind up back with the Chiefs. I could be wrong. Who knows? Go to the Patriots. The Patriots have a lot of money too. But we'll see. But anyways, here's the free agent wide receivers. Like, so he'll forget about it. I just wouldn't be good with that. Mike Evans, absolutely, but kind of a high price tag there a little bit. I still think he's in his prime, but at the tail end, but you still probably can get at least 2 good seasons out of him. It's a possibility, but a slim one, because of the market value. Christian Kirk is a possibility. Deebo Samuel, man, if it was Deebo Samuel a couple years ago, you know, 3 years ago, absolutely. However, his market value would probably be a lot higher too, though, if we're talking 2-3 years ago when he was, you know, playing at a high, you know, being one of the most, you know, the better receivers in the league, or at least most well-rounded type of receivers that could do a lot. Darnell Mooney, obviously no Curtis Samuel. Marquise Brown, you know, Hollywood Brown, that would be the over-the-top guy. Cheap signing. I honestly wouldn't hate that signing. If you're looking for speed, You got Rashid Shaheed. I wouldn't hate it either. D-Hop. I know a lot of you guys are against that signing. He's obviously not in his prime anymore. But as a cheap signing, I wouldn't hate it. But I would want them to draft a receiver, though, if you go that route. And it would honestly, it would be a 1-year contract with D-Hop. Like, I wouldn't want anything beyond that. Keenan Allen, same thing. And he's a good player, but I think he's just got out of his prime, but he still has a little bit of juice left in the tank. Zay Jones, jeez. I didn't even know he was still playing. Alec Pierce. Obviously his name's been brought up. I just want to feel comfortable paying that with him. He's a good receiver, but I'm not totally sold on him either. But that is a name that's been brought up multiple times here. I'm just not totally sold on him. There's Brandon Cooks right there. Once again, I don't think he comes back. And that's Romeo Dobbs' name's been thrown out there. He's been good, not great in Green Bay. Depending on the money, I wouldn't hate the deal either. Still a young player. Once again, I'm not crazy about the player, but I wouldn't mind signing him depending on the contract. Calvin Austin's done, in my opinion. If this was years ago for Calvin, I might be good with it. And that's about it, guys. So, I mean, there's names to be had out there, right? There's definitely names to be had out there. It's not over yet. Matter of fact, it hasn't even started. So it's a wait and see when it comes to Reese T is the first round gem. You best believe that. By the way, go get yourself some Reese T. If you live in the Buffalo area, and if Keys is still here, Keys, where can they get some of that good old Reese sweet tea? Let them know. It's in some gas station. I wish listen, if I lived in Buffalo, I would tell you. But I think it's like a common gas station there in Buffalo that it's at. So go get yourself some Reese tea. Tell Keys, let us know where they can get some Reese tea. I can't do the promo like you. Only Keys can do the Reese tea promo. Ravens still cook regardless. Yeah, listen, man, you got to still put it all together, man. Like, I'm not going to sit here and talk shit about another team, but I always find it funny when other fans gloat or talk trash when they haven't done anything. like your team had 9 Pro Bowlers, I believe it was, and you did nothing with it. Nothing. Like, I don't know. I don't understand it. Like, it's okay there's nothing wrong with being excited for your team or excited about a trade or a player you got. But I don't know. I don't understand when fans, act like it's already happened. It's set in stone now that you got these players that you're going to win anything. Like, it doesn't work. Like, it doesn't always work that way. What looks good on paper doesn't always, go onto the field. It doesn't always work out that way. There's always some type of injuries or players not working out or, whatever the case may be. Or maybe it does work out, but it's not set in stone, man. There's been great teams on paper throughout every sport. And there's been a lot of letdowns, a ton. Tommy Buffalo, content creators were crying about the Bills giving up a second-round pick. I was like, who cares? DJ Moore is better than the receivers we have now. Absolutely. I try to explain that to people and some of Bills Mafia who aren't thrilled about the trade, but we gave him a second-round pick. We also got a fifth-round pick back for a receiver who is reliable, who's a go-to guy, who's a guy that we didn't have over the last 2 years that Josh Allen now can depend on. And we're complaining about it? Stop. I just don't get it. And it's not only that, it's not over. Meaning free agency hasn't even started yet. We don't know what this roster is going to look like yet. It's not even been, totally done yet. Like, the draft's not even here. Like, let's wait and see. But so far, so good. That I just don't get it. People don't watch other teams. Moore is elite, but he had a lot. But I think because he didn't like Williams. So look, Fields, obviously, you're not going to do much with Fields as your quarterback. I mean, the proof is everywhere he's gone, Justin Fields, he's not going to make that receiver. He's not going to make anybody better. Okay. Caleb Williams, who's now starting to blossom, he's still, wasn't all there his first year. Then they got Ben Johnson, who clearly helped, but Ben Johnson has a certain type of offense where he also has a lot of different weapons. So, and Caleb Williams still, once again, still kind of growing as a quarterback, right? Still hasn't. So he hasn't had the luxury of one quarterback for long term, right? But he's still putting up good enough stats where I can go, hey, I believe in this guy. This guy can come in and be the guy that Josh Allen needs in crucial moments, right? And that's really what it's about, right? We needed a guy that we know as fans going into a game, if Josh needs a play to be made, this guy can make it. I don't know if we had any player on the team over the last 2 years when Diggs left, basically 2.5, that we could really honestly sit back and go, this guy, he's super reliable. If we need this guy to step up today, you best believe that guy's going to step up. We just didn't have that. DJ Moore is a guy that I could sit here right now and tell you that I'm confident enough to go into game day going, that guy could be that guy that if we need a play, he's going to make it happen. I've seen it way too many times with DJ Moore throughout his career in Carolina and Chicago. When big plays need to be made, DJ Moore absolutely stepped up. And that's all you can ask for. That's what you want, right? And once again, I don't think it's over. I don't think we just stop with DJ Moore, right? And that either is through free agency or we go out and get ourselves another receiver in the draft. And then you guys still got guys like Khalil Shakir, Khalil Shakir is a very good wide receiver. Don't forget about the guys we have still on the roster, right? Shakir is one of them. Coleman, we'll find out what happens with him. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I'm disappointed on how his career has gone so far, his first 2 years. But it seems that Brady still has confidence in him enough to keep him on this roster. Because trust me, as you saw today with Taylor Rapp being or Taron Johnson being cut, if it seems like if they don't see a place for a player on this team, that they're going to probably tell Bean to ship him, trade him, or cut him, right? So I think they're going to give Keon another opportunity in year 3 to prove himself. But yeah, and then Palmer, I will be honest with you guys, I just don't see it there. But unfortunately, and that's on Bean. That was a bad signing, and we're kind of stuck with him, right? But that's where the other receiver comes into play, either through free agency or the draft, right? So we'll find out, but it's not done yet. Raiders should have gave us a discount on Crosby. Tommy, when I watched DJ for the Panthers, I called him a low effort receiver. Wow, okay. I don't think so. I think he's a good player, man. Well rounded. I mean, go back and watch highlights. Go look at his overall stats throughout his career. I think he's very well rounded receiver. He's definitely our best receiver we got right now on this team. And I'm not saying he's elite. See, I think people need to separate elite with a true one, right? You could be a true one and not be elite in the NFL, right? I would say he's a true one, but he's not elite. But he's definitely a top 20 for sure. He's proven that. Can we get an elite? Can we find an elite in the draft? Of course you can, and maybe they will, right? In time, maybe they will, right? I'm not saying it's going to happen this season, but maybe next season, you draft a receiver and he turns out to be, one of these elite type of receivers, which, by the way, they don't always have to be first rounders. There's receivers that through the course of time been drafted late in rounds that turn out to be Hall of Fame receivers or elite receivers for a period of time. So we'll find out. I mean, look at Puka Nacua, 6th round draft pick. I mean, he's one of the best receivers in the NFL. Man, I don't even know how behind I am in the chat, man. I am 2 hours and 30 minutes in. You guys got me talking tonight. Ravens got Crosby. Yes, they did. I almost wonder, like, when Ravens fans, like, or any fan base, like, where do they do on YouTube? I'm not knocking anybody that's in here as a Ravens fan, but because I don't do it. Like, I honestly, the only other podcaster that I'll listen to here and there that's not a Bills channel is TD Finstalk, because he's such a character. I'll tune in once in a while, especially if our team if the Bills are playing in a later time. I'll tune into his live play-by-play. He's such a character. But I don't, outside of that, I don't venture off to anybody's different team's podcast. So, like, how do they? I'm just so curious on what do you just search for Buffalo Bills podcasters and just randomly go into their live feed? Like, I'm just curious. Like, I don't even know how that, it's just, I don't know. It's crazy to me that happens. Would you have traded? Yes, I would have. I don't think that's a bad trade at all. I think that's a fair trade. But once again, I have no idea if Bean even called for him about Crosby, what he offered, and it could have been the same, and maybe they just decided to go with the Ravens deal. Once again, we don't know. Like, we have no idea, how these calls went down, right? Or if they didn't go down. So I'm not gonna sit here and tell you. And by the way, there's 32 NFL teams, right? You don't think all around 31 other teams are saying right now, oh man, we could have got Crosby for 2 first round. They're all saying that. Of course, every big trade that happens, guys, they're all going to go, why didn't our GM do that? Why didn't we do it? Oh, that could have been had. I don't get it. Maybe they did call and offer that. You don't know that. But maybe they thought the Ravens they were selecting, whatever the case may be. They have a good relationship with the GM for the rate. You never know, right? How that goes down. I have no idea, but there's no way in hell that the Baltimore Ravens were the only team that called for Max Crosby and offered 2 first-round picks. There's no way. I don't believe it. Right? Out of all 31 other teams, they all were like, too steep for me. I don't believe that. Right? Once again, came down to, it takes 2 to tango. Right? So don't go on to this, oh man, we dropped the ball, we didn't make the call. You don't know. None of us know. Right? None of us know. So it is what it is. Crosby to the AFC North, probably enough for them to get the division. Yeah, maybe. Once again, on paper, fine, but you got to put it all together on the field. Who cares what the Ravens coaching is? They got Crosby and we didn't. Yeah, but badass. Neither did 30 other teams. Are you telling me we're the Ravens are the only smart team to call about Max Crosby? You don't think all the the majority of the rest of the NFL GMs made the phone call to Las Vegas and said, "Hey, we can give you." Of course they did. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so let's not just, oh man, Brandon Beane, you're a fucking idiot. I can't believe you. What were we supposed to do? Give up 3 first round? Like, start competing and this going into this battle with ball. And by the way, I'm sure Las Vegas isn't going, hey man, we're about to, they're giving us this, give us, like, you have no idea, right? I'm sure they got offers. I'm sure they looked over all of them. They decided what's best for their it is what it is. It takes 2 to tango. It takes 2 to tango. So don't say or don't assume that Brandon Beane or any GM around the NFL didn't make phone calls to acquire Max Crosby. You don't think phone calls are being made for A.J. Brown? Has he been dealt yet? Will he be dealt? Maybe. But you don't think they're getting calls? You don't think a lot of teams are calling about him? Only one team's going to make it work. What, so every other GM's a fucking idiot? They didn't do their job good enough? Come on, man. Let's be fair. Let's be real. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. Like, let's be honest here. It just doesn't, it's not that simple. It's not that simple. And we have no idea what's going on. Man. Diggs was caught with pink powder substance. Oh, man. Yes, he was. That was a while ago. DJ is a one receiver. He can win at every level and can beat man coverage. Exactly. Spin. Exactly what I'm trying to say. Exactly. He may not be alpha elite, but he's a number one. He's exactly what everybody wanted here. A true one, right? A guy that Allen could depend on, a guy that your go-to guy. We have him in the house, and now we're complaining. Not good enough. It's not good enough. Oh man, Chatter, it was Fixie Sticks. Bills Mafia plays too much Madden. Yeah. It's just so simple. It's so simple to make these trades. I can't believe the Ravens were the only team that called about Max Crosby. Come on, man. Oh my God. Bills fans' requirements for one receiver as they need to be future Hall of Famers. Yeah. If it wasn't Justin Jefferson, it's no good. Does Bean get the tattoo? Respect McDermott. Oh man. I'll tell you what, man. I don't think I have a bet going yet. I do. I'm going to get a tattoo the day we win a Super Bowl if we do, but I don't have a current bet on. I'll tell you what. I will do something. I'll do the opposite. I'll do it for the first time. I'll do it something that I believe in. For all the people out there, I will have a Believe in Bean Island tattoo. With the island. Right, Bills Mafia chilling on it. Some Bills flags posting in that sand with the Super Bowl, tattoo. If we win the Super Bowl, for sure, that's incoming. That's how confident I am. Why not? That's all it was. Seriously, sick of all the constant complainers. Yeah, it's crazy, Vader. It's. And I'm not. By the way, I'm not saying like that everybody's complaining or Bills Mafia. Every single one of you guys are negative. Yeah, listen, even my boys, even my dogs, post-podium podcast, I know they lean a little bit more towards that negative side. But even with that being said, they do see some positive from the Buffalo Bills that they do preach. But yeah, dude, it almost seems like at this point it's very tough to satisfy our fan base anymore. Like, and I get it, and I somewhat get it because we haven't won a Super Bowl, right? We never have. We've been to them. We lost 4 in a row, but and fans just want that Super Bowl badly, and I get it, and I'm with you. I've been rocking with this team since '89, so I totally understand that. But at the same time, you gotta look at the good as well. You can't just be always, negative, like always just having this approach that everything's gonna be bad, right? And that's in life in general. Like if you are constantly feeling that way, then you're just kind of bringing that dark cloud over you, right? And I can't do that. I will tell it how it is. I will, I'll sit here and I'll let you guys know what I don't like, what I like, what I think they could do better. I'll criticize when needed, but I'm not gonna just put all my concentration on the bad. And that's now how I fan, man. I can't do it. It isn't all bad here, guys, right? We've missed the Super Bowl, in these last 9 years, we're right there, right? If it wasn't for some fucking dumb coaching mistakes, right? Or defensive letdowns at the end of the game, like, we're right there, right? We're not a bad team. We just need some tweaks, right? We still got a top 3 quarterback. Some will say the best quarterback in the NFL. And I'll just say top 3 to make it fair. We got a good team, guys. We got a good coaching staff now. We got good players on this team, whether you think you believe it or not. I'm telling you, we do. The NFL is the ultimate team sport. This isn't boxing. This isn't golf. This isn't really even the NBA, where you just need kind of like one superstar and he kind of can lead you to the finals. Allen Iverson, right? Like LeBron James, Cavs. Like, the NFL is different. You need everything to go right to get to a Super Bowl. That's why there's only one, right, winner at the end of the year. Everything has to go right. Everything. It's tough, right? But we've been there. We've been knocking on the door. We've been very close. And we got rid of McDermott, which is the start, right? And now we're going in a different direction. Hopefully that different direction can get us through that door. But fans that are just not giving it an opportunity already, I just don't get. I don't understand it. Like, you should be happy. You should be excited for the change because we're still a good football team. We still got guys on here that are good players. And that's another thing, too, about, Bills Mafia shitting on the talent that we have here, on the draft picks that we've drafted here. Guys that are starters now that have made an impact. Right? I mean, come on. Go down the list, guys. Go down the list of draft picks that are starting on this team that are good players, to very good players, to potentially great players. You got Josh Allen drafted. Deion Dawkins, say what you want about him. The guy's been durable, one of the better tackles in the NFL for a very long time. Whether you like him or you don't, facts are facts. Drafted. Spencer Brown, drafted. Osiris Torrance, drafted. A guy that still has room to grow as a player. Who I feel is a really good guard that could get really a lot better. Christian Benford, still young. And I don't care how you feel about him, what defense he works in, doesn't matter. Has he been reliable? Has he been one of the better, or at least a top 10 corner? I believe so. I believe so. Drafted. Right? Cole Bishop. Man, look at Cole Bishop. Look at the growth from Cole Bishop. Look at this past season from Cole Bishop. Drafted. Say what you want about Bernard. Look, he was hurt last year, but prior to that, he's been a good player. Drafted. Matt Milano, while he was here, he was a good player. Now, I know the injuries, that sucks, but on the field, good player. Drafted. Starter. Drafted. I mean, come on, man. Trey White. All-pro Trey. Right? Drafted. A lot of guys that we drafted through the years that have been good players that are starters. But we want to ignore that. We want to go and pick at the rest of the guys that aren't. Oh, Boogie Bash and Boo. Oh, I forgot Groot. Greg Rousseau. Say what you want about him. He's the 28th pick in the draft. He's still a reliable, good player. I don't care what you guys say. But he's one of the better edge run defenders in the NFL. Matter of fact, I think he was the best last year. Okay? Ed Oliver. He's a good player. Durable, reliable, starter, draft pick. But we want to attack the guys that didn't work out. Kyrie Elam, Boogie Basham. Oh, terrible. That means all the draft picks suck. That means every single draft was trash. And that's why I defend them. Because I don't feel it's right. I don't think it's fair to the players that are on this team that have been drafted by Brandon Beane, that have worked out, that have been good players. A lot of these guys that were drafted in later rounds. But we wanted, I forgot, James Cook. How could I forget? Keys guy. Keys, who loves James Cook. Probably his favorite player on his team. Second round pick. I would say borderline great at this point. Led the league in touchdowns the year before. Led the league in rushing this past season. But no, bad draft picks, bad drafting, trash. So I'm going to defend him. Yes. I'm going to defend the draft picks. Yes. Have they all been great all round, 7 rounds? No. But go across the NFL, it's the same shit. Right? Come on, man. Like, that's what makes me mad about certain the way people look at this team and the way that people look at how Brandon Beane, these players that we got here. We're a good team. We're good players that continue to make the playoffs. We just needed to get over the hump. What I felt like was blocking us from that is the guy that's no longer in the building. That's Sean McDermott. Now let's see what we do. Okay? There. I'm done with my rant. Man, y'all know how to get me out. I'm telling you, boy. Woo! I get going. I'm almost 3 hours in, man. Man. As a Bears fan that lives in Erie, Pennsylvania, I think it's a great trade for both sides. I agree, brother. I will miss DJ, but Bears needed to clear cap space. DJ plays hurt, and Bears had 6 players. Yeah, dude, DJ Moore's missed 2 games since 2019. You talk about durable, right? And that's one thing the Buffalo Bills have not had great luck in, is guys that can be durable, right? And you're getting one. And yet we're here, guys, people here complaining that it's a bad trade. We give him a 2nd-round draft pick. We're getting back a 5th. But yeah, it's, he's paid too much. Stop. Oh, he would have got released. You don't know that. Everyone's sitting here acting like they know that they're in these GM's office, are secretly listening. They got wiretaps going on. Oh, but the Bears were going to cut him. He wasn't going to. Really? Were they? Were we the? How do you not know they didn't get calls from other teams? Come on, man. Come on. Palmer was injured all year. Yeah, I really have no expectations for him. But he's on the team. So it is what it is. Hey, look at that. He's also from Erie. Look at that. Vader's from Erie. Small world, right? 77. Look at Scott Blakely coming in hot. 17-0 incoming, Tommy. Now, this is a fun look, guys. I've had a blast tonight with you guys. Honestly, I needed to. I honestly had. When I started on tonight, I'm like, man, I was looking for shit to talk about, Google and shit. Just because when you go solo, it's a little difficult sometimes. You got to come up with shit to talk about and find little topics. We are almost 3 hours in, and I didn't get to any of them, and I won't. Right? We'll have to say that for another day. But this has been a fun podcast to kind of, for me to let loose, right? Let loose on my feelings about this whole chatter about the DJ Moore trade and Brandon Beane, all the Brandon Beane hate. And I love the fact that the majority of you guys here tonight understand where I'm coming from or agree. And I'm sure not all of you guys do, but that's okay. I'm not trying to push my opinions on you or saying it's the gospel. But I appreciate you guys listening to me tonight. I appreciate you guys understanding where I'm coming from. I really do. Steve Smith knows something about receiving. He says DJ is a one all day. Okay, it's a one all day, but Bills Mafia knows better. Right. I see what you're saying. Right. But we're gonna judge. Oh man, he's gonna be upset because he's not getting enough attention on the offense, like any other receiver that we brought in here that we traded for, AJ Brown or Mike Evans. You don't think that as a one they would demand or not demand, but expect to get more target? Of course, that's what a one does. So let's not act like, oh man, because we're getting a guy that's going to demand the ball. So what do we do then? Not get a one? It's like a lose-lose for Brandon Beane at this point. Oh, we can't get a one because it doesn't fit in Brady's system. Brady wants to spread the ball around. You can't get a one. But then if we don't, then you got Bills Mafia going, I can't believe we didn't get a one. Why didn't we trade for AJ Brown? DJ Moore only got traded for a second-round pick. How much you want to make a bet? I fucking guarantee it. If we didn't make this trade and somebody else did for a second-round pick and they got DJ Moore in a fifth round, and let's say we winded up just getting a free agent. Let's say we got whatever, an okay free agent receiver, and you know what people will be saying? I fucking promise you, the Bills could have got DJ Moore for a second-round pick. I fucking promise you. Brandon Beane could have gotten DJ Moore for a second-round pick. Same fans who were angry, including me, that we didn't give up a first round. I think a first and a fifth for Jalen Waddle. Same fans. Come on, make it make sense. Make it make sense. Man. DJ Moore was brought in by the previous regime in Chicago. Ben Johnson wanted his new young guys to be featured. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that too. Look at that. We got some guys in here. Small world, man. Going to the same high school, I think, same city. Good for y'all, man. Ravens and Bills are both going all in for Super Bowl. Hey. I do believe Brandon Beane, his approach over the next 2 seasons, I'm going to call it 2 because I know a lot of, including my co-hosts, feel that Brandon Beane's going to step aside and one of the assistant GMs is going to take over the role as GM next season. I don't know if that's necessarily true or that's going to happen. I do believe in time it will. I do. I think it's going to be set up that way. But I almost feel like Brandon Beane is going to want to prove something. And it's going to take at least 2 years for him to kind of build this team the way maybe he envisioned it and the way Brady and staff, because I'm going to call it staff, because that's really where the key is, right? The coaching staff, where they see where their vision is, right? Where they see this team heading, right? What kind of players they want. And I think that's going to be fair. I think that's going to be a 2-year process where Beane wants to kind of mold it the way he wants to, and then hand the keys off, right? But that's how I see it. Now, I could be wrong. Maybe next year he hands the keys and he just is the president of football operations. Could be. And I think I would be okay with that. I really would. Because at that point, if he hires one of these guys within, which is probably going to be the case, those guys have had plenty of time under Brandon Beane and have learned the game, has been assistant GM for a while, has met with other GMs that Brandon Beane can now, give them the scoop, right? Because that's also a big deal, right? And who to know, who to talk to, and basically just hand them the keys, right? So that's going to happen in time, and it could happen next year. I don't know. No, we aren't always right, but we believe ourselves. Yeah, dude, look, and I'm the same way, Keys. You know that, right? We're not. We're just in the same way I do things here, the same way Post Podium does, and that's why I love those dudes. That's why I'm very good friends with Aramis and very good friends with Keys, and that's why really what attracted me to their podcast, right? Like, that's how I initially got in contact with them, because I love their honesty, even though I didn't necessarily agree with all of it, but I love their personalities. I love their honesty, and just how they went about themselves, right, on the show, right, and how they include the chat, and it's kind of similar to how I do things here. We're a little bit different, obviously how we run things, but it's a fun show. Like, I enjoy watching their show, a great show. But every single podcast, we're all going to have different opinion, different takes. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, right? There's nothing wrong with that. You guys know there's Homer channels out there that are everything's great and sunny. Right? Every move we make is the best ever. And look, and they have a certain audience. And there's channels like Post Podium where they're a little bit more towards the negative, I guess you could say, but a little bit more on that other side of things. And then you got channels I feel like I'm more down the middle. I try to see things for both sides. And then you got your X's and O's. So there's a channel out there for everyone. And that's the great thing about podcasts in general, right? YouTube. So, but yeah, dude, I dig it, man. There's only so many podcasts. Look at Princess is upset. There's only so many podcasts I actually care for that I listen to. And Post Podium's one of them. Post Podium, honestly, Post Podium's maybe the Ralph Rant. I dig his stuff too, man. He's a good dude over there. Nickel City Mafia, become really close to Mike. So there's some channels I Locked on Bills, and then there's other channels I just can't, Dan Mitchell, obviously, as you guys know, I'm on his show on Mondays during the season. But then there's other shows I just, or whatever, you know what I mean? Not my cup of tea, but it's the great thing about being in this podcast world we're in, is that everybody has something to offer to somebody out there. So it's not hate on anybody's channel or anything like that. You know what I mean? We're all gonna have our own. We all have our own cup of tea, man. That's all. God damn, I've been on your 3 hours and I couldn't tell you what the hell I just been fucking blabbing on, man. Say what you will about whether the Ravens gave up too much or not. I don't think they did. I think that's a fair trade, man. But you could say they aren't doing all they can to win in their quarterback. Yeah, absolutely. Listen, I didn't say that. I think 2 first-round picks it's a fair deal. I never said that was a bad trade. All I'm saying is when people go, "Oh, Brandon Beane's how could you not make that call? Why wouldn't you?" You have no idea that he didn't make that call. Matter of fact, and I said it earlier, you don't think other teams across the NFL called about Max Crosby? Of course they did. You don't think that they maybe perhaps offered the same It just takes two to tango. And sometimes, that's just the way it works. There's only going to be one team that wins that trade, right? Especially for a high-profile player like a Max Crosby. It's just the way it works, right? And you're not, but to say, like, I can't believe we didn't make that trade. You don't know that we didn't offer the same thing. We have no idea. But I don't think it's a bad trade at all. I never said that. I don't know if you're saying, or maybe someone in here said that, but I think it's more than fair. I see no problem in the trade. None whatsoever. He's worth 2 first-round picks. I'm just saying you don't know what teams offered what. So I don't feel it's right that we're just going to be like all of a sudden bashing our GM for not making the trade happen. It takes two, guys. It's not as simple as if our GM called, it should have made a difference. We should have made the trade. It doesn't work that way. It just so happened that the Ravens made it happen. But doesn't mean other teams didn't call about them, and maybe they offered the same. Jim Kelly was tougher than Allen. And what? No, I don't know about that. Was he? You know what? To be fair, let me take that back. Jim Kelly was a tough son of a bitch. Badass. So let me. To be fair, I would say they're about the same. The only difference, I will say this: the NFL in general in that time, really 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s was brutal. Like it was, the quarterbacks didn't get the calls they get today, right? Same with the receivers. Like the NFL protects the quarterbacks a lot more. So I get that, but Josh Allen is as tough as they get, bro. Josh Allen is basically our RB2. I mean, if we want to be real, right? When we talk about who's our running backs, it's James Cook and Josh Allen, right? And it's not like Josh Allen through his career has been this safe running quarterback. He's been, not to mention all of the tush pushes that he does, that's taking damage on his body. He's a tough kid. He's a tough guy, I should say. So I would say both of them are just really, really tough quarterbacks. So I wouldn't say Jim Kelly's tougher than Allen. I don't know if Allen's any tougher than Kelly. I think they're about as tough as they get, man. But toughness only gets you so far before your body breaks down. He's due for it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, badass. And I said that earlier in the podcast. That's why I'm in the all-in, category of saying, look, you got to be real when you're looking at your team as a GM and go, okay, I got this guy at quarterback who's an unbelievable talent, but he's 30 years old. He plays with reckless abandonment, right? He's been injured every year, but he fights through it. But there's going to come a time where he's not going to be able to, right? And also, I got to be real. The style of football he plays, more than likely, his prime is not going to be as long as another quarterback doesn't play like Josh Allen. So for me, like he has to understand this, and you have to eventually roll the dice and step outside your comfort zone and go all in. So I'm with you. Bills fan here, they ain't winning shit because they have no balls. I don't agree with that take. Do I think that Brandon Beane needs to be more aggressive? Yes. So, but I don't agree that they're conservative or anything like that. They have taken some swings, but yeah, and they need to take a little bit more, and they need to understand time's a ticking. So, but to say they're not winning shit, I don't agree with that. I think a lot of that our opportunities to get to a Super Bowl, a lot of it was on our coach that is no longer here in McDermott. That's my opinion. We're going to find out real soon if that opinion holds any weight. And yeah, I mean, that's all I can say about that. Tommy goes on a 10-minute rant for each post. Yeah, he does. That is absolutely correct. I have to. I can't just go through a quick chat, read it, spin, and have no response or a little like. It's just how I do, man. I'm sorry. You guys get me talking, man. 3 hours in, y'all know, man. But but I always get to your guys' chats. That's one thing I will get to them. For them, I try my best. Unlike a lot of, by the way, and y'all know this to be true if y'all are watching me right here, right now. A lot of podcasts do not get to the chat. They'll get to a couple and then they'll move on and then they will ignore y'all for most of the show. So just throwing that out there. I am very chat friendly. Just think if we got Justin Jefferson. Yeah, but Justin Jefferson was not going to happen. I would be shocked if Justin Jefferson get moved from Minnesota. A.J. Brown, yeah, I can see A.J. Brown being traded. But to be fair, he's still on the Eagles right now, right? I'm sure teams have called about A.J. Brown, but they have not moved on from A.J. Brown. So we don't know what they want yet, right? Damn, it is storming outside, guys. I'm about to get out of here soon, man. Bills Mafia bipolar. Yeah, right on. I always thought Moore was pretty damn good, and I'm optimistic. Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm going to get some of your chat here, and I got to get out of here. You guys like the trade because you like Moore. I like the trade because Beans sucks at drafting. I disagree, bro. I just went through this, man. I don't know if you just came into the chat, but I totally disagree with he sucks at drafting. I just named a bunch of starters that we have that are good to great players on this team that we've all that have been all draft picks. Every single one of them. I'll tell you what's missing, what Bean's flaw has been. It's not drafting. It's been free agency. Name a free agent that's been a key free agent that's been here a long time. Name a draft picks that's been here, that's been on this roster a while, that's been reliable, it's been good, it's been constant, right? It's free agency where Brandon Bean has dropped the ball. He needs to get better. But I just do not agree with these drafts have been bad. I feel like one draft was like a C. I believe that was the 2020 draft, AJ Epinesa draft. Outside of that, they've all been B's and A's. Now you can agree. We're going to have to agree to disagree because I'm sure you don't like my take. But look at the roster. Go up and down the roster as it is today. There's a lot of draft picks starting, and a lot of them are very good. And if you're going to say no, they're not, then how the hell is this team getting as far as they gotten over the last 9 seasons, right? Or let's say 8. Over the last 8 seasons, how far, record-wise, right? Okay, and don't give me, we have easy schedule. Guys, every time we win the division, every year, we have a tougher schedule. Every fucking year, right? We don't have easy schedules. They put who's in front of us. They make the shittier the team, the easier the schedule, right? The better the team, the harder the schedule. It's how it always has been. Now, it's not our problem if the Baltimore Ravens shit the bed. And going into the season, they had one of the best rosters on paper. It's not our fucking problem. So don't give me that. Right? We've been a constantly good team. Our problem is we haven't been great. And great means winning a Super Bowl. Okay? We need to correct that. We need to fix that. But this is the ultimate team sport. These guys make a difference. Every single one of them. That's how you get to a Super Bowl. Right? And we have fallen just short. It's not like we, missed the playoffs one year, made it one year, missed the one year. Inconsistent football. It's been good football. We need to be better. We need to be great. That's the key. That's what we've been missing. But this whole talk about the draft's been bad, shitty drafts, like, I don't buy into that. I don't buy into it. I won't buy into it. I don't care what anyone says. Okay? Once again, go through the draft picks and be honest. And, I see a lot of people looking at these drafts and going, oh, he's okay. He's okay. He's one of the better tackles in the NFL. What are you talking about? Okay. James Cook, right? Like all of a sudden he's ignored. Like, James Cook's talking about, but of course he's going to be good. Really? You all weren't saying that when we initially drafted him. Nobody's sitting here going, that was a great pick, James Cook, when we drafted him. Some people were like, I like him out of Georgia, but James Cook wasn't used a lot in Georgia. Matter of fact, he didn't have a lot of snap count in Georgia. He had a lot of tread on his tire. That's what made James Cook, for me, why I'm like, okay, you know what? Maybe they should sign him, because he has a lot of tread on his tire. He wasn't used a lot in Georgia, and he wasn't used a lot early in his career in Buffalo. But don't lie and sit here and be like, oh, James Cook for sure was a for sure thing. No, it was a good draft pick, but yet we're going to ignore that. Spencer Brown, we're going to just ignore Spencer Brown. Oh, Spencer. Osiris Torrance, like, once again, I'll go down the list. I go Kincaid, even when healthy. It's a good draft pick. James Cook, Josh Allen, Khalil Shakir, 4th round pick. Or a 5th round pick, I think. Deion Dawkins. Gregor Rousseau, one of the better run defenders in the league. Christian Benford, probably a top 10 corner. Cole Bishop, like, once again, I can go down this list over and over and over. But yet, you want to ignore it. You just want to attack the things that didn't work out. That is so easy to do. Go to you want to play that card. Go to every fucking team's draft. I promise you, there's going to be draft picks in every single fucking team that players have not worked out, including 1st round picks. I promise you. But you don't want to do that. No. You just want to, bad. Everything's bad. Like, boy, oh boy. I mean, but look, man, fan, how you want to? I'm not behind. You mean on the chat? Yeah, I'm sorry, bro. I get caught up in just fucking talking, and somebody triggers me, man. Oh my God. I gotta get caught up. How far am I behind? Breaking Penguins. See, I don't watch hockey, but badass is a hockey fan. Then for all you hockey fans out there, Breaking Penguins forward Evgeny Makin suspended 5 games for slashing Rasmus Dahlin. Look at the cap and the players we have. So once again, some of that I agree and some of it I disagree with. Free agency, I said, has been his weak spot. That has to do with the cap, signing guys like Curtis Samuel, signing guys like Palmer, Larry Ogunjobi. I'm not mad about the Von Miller pickup, because actually, if Von Miller didn't get hurt that year, he's on pace to have over 10 sacks. He was having a very good season. You can't predict injuries. I mean, Micah Parsons got traded to Green Bay and had an ACL injury right away. You're going to blame Green Bay for making the trade? Of course not. You can't predict injuries. But anyways, some of the money that Bean has thrown around for free agency has absolutely been bad. I'm not going to deny that. However, I don't think the players on the team that we have currently paid have been bad extensions, or I just don't. Allen's contract is fine. Spencer Brown's is fine. Deion Dawkins' contract is fine. I don't think Groot's contract's bad either for what he does. Ed Oliver, even he has earned his contract. Like, I don't think any current player, quite honestly, has underperformed his contract. So if we're talking free agency misses and contracts, yes. But if we're talking current extensions and players that have gotten, deals here that are currently on the team, I think those are all suitable contracts, all fine. I have no problem with them. But he needs to be better in free agency. Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. Bro, that was like 30 minutes ago. Mikey, I'm so glad I'm not on tonight, struggling with all this hate. It's wild to me. Mikey, that's Mikey. If y'all don't know, that's the Apex, man. And Mikey, I'm trying, man. I am trying. I am like I feel like I'm the lawyer. I'm Brandon Bean's lawyer at this point. I don't know what I am. I'm just like his defender over here. I gotta go out and just, hold a news conference every fucking week to talk to Bill's Mafia and calm them down, man. Damn, next time we play them, they're going to have a vengeance for us. Tommy, you are like 30 minutes behind. That has nothing to do with Crosby. I'm trying, man. At least I get with the chat keys. Oh, hey, I get every chat. Okay, can someone tell me, Tommy? He's way in the past. I'm not way in the past. I'm trying to catch up. Bean is fine, except for those terrible wide receiver deals. Doesn't help that his roster always ends up horrendously injury prone, but injuries are not on him. Absolutely correct. 2 hours in, Tommy. 2 hours behind. Yo, I'm actually 3 hours in. 3 hours and 11 minutes. That was before the release of restructures. Mafia has to listen to national media about money spent on our wide receiver room. What up, Mikey? I'm glad they give him 5. That shit was cheap, bro. Mikey, text him or something. How far am I behind? Tommy's about 100 messages. Guys, I wish that you could play my part in this. When you're solo, this shit ain't. I gotta. You know how many fucking chats are in the goddamn chat box right now? There's a lot of you guys chatting. I have to answer each one of your guys' chat. You guys talk about something. I have to talk, respond. Now he's getting me feeling bad because I was joking when we were talking about DJ Moore. It has zero to do with Brandon Bean. All right. I don't know. Don't feel bad. I love you, Keith. Bean better get that O-line right because I don't want to face the Ravens in the playoffs concern. Now I'm just going to speed race through these motherfucking chats, all right? Y'all want me to get caught up, motherfucker? I'm going to get caught the fuck up. I don't give a fuck. I'm on here 10 fucking hours. Don't matter. The Ravens got him. Point is, we did not get him all capital letters, and neither did 30 other teams, bro. So good for them. I mean, I don't want to tell you. Like, I'm not going to sit over here and, fucking beat my head on the wall. It is what it is. You know? Ryan Poles also structured DJ's contract where the Bills are able to restructure if they need to. That I heard as well. Hey, we got a super chat from my co-host. So let's go ahead and hit that train horn because why not? He deserves it too. He deserves it too. He's letting me know I'm way behind the chat. He's letting me know way behind the chat. I want to get caught up in this motherfucker, man. Y'all got me mad now, man. Y'all got me mad. Oh my god. Am I that fucking far behind, you guys? Holy shit. I think I am, huh? Oh my god. Guys, I am way behind, apparently. I don't know if I can get caught up. Now that I'm looking, I don't even know where Mikey's chat is. God. I'm just going to have to skip. I have no idea where I'm at. I'm sorry. I am so behind. I honestly didn't realize I was that behind. There are also fans that want a Josh Rosen. I'm just about to click all of these motherfuckers' chats just to prove I can get to all of them. You're like an hour behind. Whatever. Look, you got my dog mad at you guys for making fun of me. That's it. Oh no, I'm sorry, chat. Whatever. I am now going to speed race to this motherfucker. Offseason just started giving a chance. Build a roster. All honesty, transparency. in my opinion. Dog is like, read the damn chat. Tommy got ghosts in his room. What did I say to make you think I'm impatient? Yes, Ralph ran. I like the rock pile report too. My bad. Missed the sarcasm. By the time Tommy catches up the chat, you'll be able to answer the question and the name of the stream. Laugh out loud. Gonna be my whole shift. I'm just waiting for the empathy. The funniest part about Tommy being so behind that he doesn't know, I said about 20 minutes before he even knew. Laugh my ass out. Mark pause. 100%. Hey Tommy, I'm the son of the real user. Unfortunately, my father, the real Walter, passed away at the keyboard, waiting for you to catch up to the chat. He wanted me to tell you to keep being great. Thank you, Walter, and rest in peace. Who chatted for him to keep going? How long will he get to it? That chat is killing me. The son of former Walter. Laughing. Time. Mikey took the L for this. Walter got me crying. He needs a refund. That was hilarious. I'm gonna catch up. Laughing emoji. Good man, that Walter. I remember back in 26. Time long since gone. How fucking far am I behind? Now we need a back. No, you have a two. All your subs getting grandkids. Oh my god! It's the fact we'll be building the next new stadium at the original Rapp catches. Tommy not getting out of here if he decides to read chat. He's still in super chat. What super chat? I think I got to all of them. My dog's going nuts. He's gonna read Mike's super chat. He's gonna think he's still in the chat. Okay, maybe the guy from the browser is a face. Princess needs to pee. Yeah, she does. God. I want Jeff Caldwell still. Would give 2 frowns for Frick and Oliver to elite pass rusher. I agree. I don't know about Oliver, though. I would have gave up 2 first, though. This is Stephon Diggs all over again. Yeah, Miles to the draft of the future. Someone's laughing at me. I never remember these chats. Okay, never mind. Being sucks. Read that stuff. Tommy's so wrong. I can't scroll up my chat to see. She said, man, let me read these for you. I just worked 4 or 6 flights. I don't have one before I said something. Spin same. Spin. I love the time Jeff 40 minutes ago, and he's not even close to it yet. So watch Jeff Cotton. Go Sabres. He's now asking, laughing emoji. That's got to do with Buffalo even more. Here's Mikey's damn still going. I'm still waiting for the train horn. What's going on? Did I not hit the train horn? He still hasn't gotten to your super chat, Mike. I did get the super chat. Oh my god. Damn. Bummer. Terrell Barnard. Mikey, did you think I was joking when I said you're gonna have to read it on Monday? Israel, something about Israel. Mikey's laughing. Laugh out loud. Vader. Tommy wishes he was 30 minutes behind. God damn. We got to roast Tommy. Watch his reaction to the roast 30 minutes later. Did we resign McGovern yet? No. We just fucking with you. No, we probably won't. Carolina players once again. Laugh out loud. Yay. I'm going to catch up, y'all. This is still going to take a half an hour. Celebration mode. Finally. Which is further away the Bills from a Super Bowl. Tommy from being current in the chat. Laughing my fucking ass off. He skipped like an hour worth of chats. Laughing emoji. Did he get to me yet? Almost there. He's now actually. This is gonna become a sleepover. Laugh a lot. Vader. He keeps getting pissed off about the stuff for a long time ago. I told you I could see another rank. Oh, God. I'm just typing get gibberish. Can't catch up. Yeah, man. Just wanted to add more comments to you. Excuse me. I was ecstatic. I can't resist it. And attaboy, Tommy. Yeah, man. I'm fucking caught up, man.
Oh my God, my dog's angry at me and everything, man. Oh my God.
Thank you. Oh my God, go Bills. Oh man. All right, guys. You see, she's ready to go. POTTY. So I've been on here 3 hours and 20 minutes. I did get, hey, you got to give me credit. I got caught up to the chat. So you can't say that I didn't get caught up to that. She's pissed. She needs to go out. So the last one, Keys. All right, y'all. This was like when we wanted, we waited all night to see them trade back for Keon Coleman. Take a sip. You earned it. Yeah, man. So guys, I'm out of here, man. I appreciate you guys rocking with me tonight. I'm sorry that I took forever with the chat. No, I'm not falling behind again. I am caught up, man. So for me and for Princess, and for okay, we appreciate you guys rocking with us, rocking with me tonight, rocking with the baby Princess. Okay, get out of here. All right, so Bills Mafia, I love you. And as always, go Bills. I'm out of here. Peace. Oh, man. All right, relax. Peace out, guys.
Just let your soul go. Just let it shine through. Just let your soul